You are now listening to the Non-Millennial Millennials podcast, brought to you by House of Spades Media Group. Enjoy.
And we are back, you motherfuckers, from the land of a free Britney Spears. This is episode whatever the fuck he says it is. We back.
I think
Plus 75, right?
yeah, it's 175, but my world was pretty much the same with or without a free Britney Spears. So
Hey. Facts don't always tell the truth. I heard that in Venom too. We're gonna get to that later. I don't know how they fit that in. And I feel like it matches the Britney Spears situation because facts don't always tell the truth. They said it was a fact that that beautiful white woman could not take care of herself. And you know what she did? She proved these motherfuckers wrong by the court of law and white justice.
and this is a 175th fact by Jose Ortega. Jose Ortega don't give a fuck. Who the fuck are you?
Once again, the one and only, created from the mud, never was a dud, back like motherfucking Bub at the top of that motherfucking champagne bottle. You did the one and only Busy 9-3. I bees motherfucking can't go down. Sometimes they call me Kwame Khalifa, aka the motherfucking crooked court jester, the Tard Whisperer, the Tiki Torch Nazi daughter Slay. If you don't know, you won't know. Captain Dr. Science say I like to throw a little accent on there so the bitches with an accent know what's up. We back.
You're an idiot. But it's okay though. Because I'm hailing from the home of bitchin' tequila, 50 cent margaritas, and cartel dealings. A1 on the mic, motherfucking Jose Ortega, better known as Tequila Papi. You know what I'm saying? AKA, you know what I'm saying? Don Patron. You feel me? AKA Zay Mysterio. Also known as the Kush Crusader. Also known as Tito Lee. Wah! Also known as the Petronome. God damn it, put some respect on my motherfucking name, nigga. It's 175th episode of Non-Millennial Millennials Podcast, House of Spades Media. We in this bitch. This nigga got the camera at a new angle and shit. I kind of like it. It's good for you. Nah, I mean. And we in this
I was
bitch.
trying new things. We got George in the background. He showed up for no reason.
George is healthy and shit. You know what I mean? The prayers that y'all sent for George and everything. Thank God. Thank you, people.
All the prayers worked out.
All the prayers we sent for George, he is COVID free. Now,
all
for
the
his
little
other problem,
anti-COVID angels flew down and
protected him, but they let him down, coming down to when what he needed to get done with COVID. We're not going to discuss that.
We ain't got to say that on here.
Yeah.
That's let's leave that off.
I mean,
COVID don't get everybody.
Things could have been well handled through natural selection, but God damn it, you know how that shit goes. You know.
Nonetheless, natural selection happens, and I'm pretty sure those are two words we can't say on YouTube. So there we go with the monetization.
We can't say natural selection.
I'm pretty sure they linked that back to the other thing we shouldn't say that ends at school and starts with shooting.
That's not natural selection, no.
I said it backwards on purpose.
I'm just saying that's natural selection. That's intentional selection.
Yo, that's a great segue, actually. What is that?
That's intentional selection. Like I'm just keeping it being like straight up.
Intentional selection.
Yeah,
what?
Fam. If I go look, fam, if I'm a school shooter, right, and I go into a school and I go and try to and my intention is to go in there with this gun and go and shoot it, I'm intentionally doing this. There ain't nothing natural. Nothing naturally made me a killer. The fuck? Like, that's not natural selection.
That's not true. Rap music exists.
That's very white. That's so white. Oh my God. That is the whitest shit you've said. Oh my God. That is the whitest 90s shit ever.
We all know rap music causes school shootings. Stop it.
Oh my God. Were you one of the people that ran over the fucking NWA Straight Outta Compton album too. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, no.
I'm pretty sure my grandma didn't like
it. I'm sure she didn't, nigga. But I tell you what.
As real as my grandma was, I'm pretty sure she still would.
Look.
She probably didn't hear it, but I'm pretty sure she would have liked it.
I'm keeping it big. Most old people who don't like hip hop and shit, or didn't like hip hop, guess what? They was doing back in the motherfucking 60s and 80s and in the 40s and 50s and shit. They was hanging out, smoking goddamn reefer in jazz clubs. So don't y'all tell me, goddamn, that jazz and hip hop are not related, and they're not directly as influential as the other. Can't tell me that, goddamn. Can't tell me that.
Just saying. You do have a point, my friend. You cannot despite or dispute the fact that drugs are drugs.
Yeah, but also, once again, drugs don't cause natural selection if you smoke reefer.
Sometimes drugs cause natural selection. Fentanyl has picked a lot of niggas off. By accident.
I said if you smoke reefer.
Okay.
Yeah, but isn't it?
Is accidental overdose natural selection? Okay, this is too deep right now. We going way off topic.
Unintentional selection, son. It's unintentional selection, B.
This is dark.
Because you could have always been shooting up your doggy and it been all good and shit. And then you get the bad.
Why would you shoot your dog with heroin? Oh, you mean like your man's?
Dog food, nigga.
Right. Yeah, shooting up your doggy with your doggy. I get it. But you can't just be doing that. That's not healthy.
It's not. But what I'm saying is, now you done got the bad batch. Now you season up looking like Chris Tucker and Dead Presidents. I'm sorry, nigga, but it wasn't on purpose. I wanted you to be like, yo, this is some good dope. Come back. Not die. It's unintentional. You know?
I think I've said it before on this podcast. Natural selection will be what it is, whatever that is to you.
I think it has to be natural for it to be natural.
And drug dealers, learn your measurements.
Yeah, cook your recipe
flat out.
Right.
Learn your measurements. The better you learn your measurements, the less people you kill, the more customers you get. It's very economic.
Yeah, you don't want to kill your fiends, because if you kill your fiends and you don't got no money. Now you just got drugs and no one to sell it to.
How about we just don't use fentanyl? How about that? Can we try that for a while? Let's go back to those days. Can we try that?
See,
I think that works. That worked before.
I think that's asking a lot, because now you demeaning the person that actually has their recipe right, and then now you're saying like don't use it. And it's like, y'all, no, fam.
I feel like no recipe is right for that. There's no right recipe for that. Even if there is one, I get what you're saying. But probably not a right one. If we're gonna say there's a right one,
I mean, it's not saying a right one, but if we're saying like the one that's not gonna kill your clientele, and if you know how to, and if your shit right, let it be right. You know what I mean? Like, let that nigga do what he do. You got to step on that nigga's food.
And this was the track report. Fuck, how did we start off talking about heroin overdose?
I don't know. I was some way trying to talk about how I don't care about Britney being free, but hey, that's me.
We started there. Hey, like I said,
you know,
we're in the land of a free Britney Spears, baby.
Don't care.
Ain't nothing yet. You ain't gotta care. It's real. It's reality. It's what you living in. You ain't gotta care about it.
I'm glad that your pop queen got her freedom. Her whiteness got free. Congratulations for your pop white queen. Congratulations.
Nubian white queen.
Don't do that. 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 Don't do that.
Is Britney Spears not? Can you give me can you give me a real example of how she's not? I'm listening, sir.
Have you seen her today?
I mean, she doesn't look 25 anymore. She's fucking 45, but she looks good for a 45-year-old white woman. Britney Spears.
Nah. I'm sorry. I think because of who she's directly connected to in her younger prime, you got to almost compare her to those same people today that are outside of their prime, and you would in my opinion, connect her directly to Justin Timberlake. No homo, he looks very good for his age, and they're about the same damn age. And you know, white people
still connect Britney Spears to Justin Timberlake. What fucking year are you in? For all our white viewers, I'll ask for you. What fucking year are you?
It don't matter. They dated. They just around the same age, same circle. I'm comparing the way that they look today versus the way they looked before. So, and again, in that same group, he looks great for his age. She looked fucking like normal, nigga. Like, what's new being about that?
Let's take into effect the fact that Britney Spears has had a way more tumultuous 20 years than Justin Timberlake. He made Cry Me a River and moved the fuck on. She didn't.
Where's hers at?
She didn't. I just said it. She didn't.
You're right.
She didn't. Not she didn't move on. She just never made that thing that was like, yo, this is the end of. Like he made it like, yo, I'm good. I'm on this. I'm on my shit. Like I'm moving on. She was still making breakup songs about nigga 5 years later. Like it was a thing.
So it's not about their relationship. I think it's like to me, it's simply about, all right, nigga, did you continue to make good music post that breakup and throughout the rest of your career to continue to continue Nubianism, but nigga, you didn't have Nubianism continuality. So just because quote unquote you were Nubian in your prime, don't mean that you get to be Nubian today. Do we still say Nubian white queen for Katy Perry? I think not.
Yes.
Sir.
Well,
y'all niggas.
No. She lost it when she got pregnant by a white man. I know it's controversial. I'm just saying. We all know she liked Black Panther. Right.
The fuck does that mean?
She had a baby. What you mean? She lost her Nubian white queen status.
When have you ever seen Britney Spears being smashed by a black dude or a Latino or being even around one that was long enough to say that they was even dating? What the fuck does that even matter?
The better question is, what black dude hasn't wanted to smash Britney Spears?
All right, sir.
Outside of yourself.
My followers, sir.
I wouldn't put that on them.
I would.
Y'all leave a comment below. I don't know if he should just put that on y'all like that. I'm just saying.
Like I'm like, nah, son. Like, nah. I'm like, nah. I'm sorry, nah. I can't do it. Can't do it. Sorry, nah.
See.
I'm sure I would still smash. Madonna hasn't lost her Nubianism. Like she can't. She done taken too many black penises, so she can't lose it.
Just because Madonna adopted black babies and has taken black dick predominantly over the last 40 years means nothing. What are you talking about?
Now that means nothing.
No, it means nothing.
It means nothing. Now it means nothing.
No, because it's Madonna.
So what now it means?
It only means nothing because it's Madonna.
But
it's Madonna.
But Katy Perry has a baby with a white dude and loses all new.
She went on to live her picket fence life. Miley Cyrus gonna do the same. What she gonna say when she get pregnant by a white dude? Oh, she used to dance in hip hop videos, and we all knew what that was.
Cultural appropriation. That's what the
right.
Was. Right. But what I'm saying is, if she get pregnant by a white dude, I'm not gonna be surprised, nigga. I'm not putting the title of Nubian on Miley Cyrus or Britney Spears.
I feel like Miley Cyrus is a stretch. Britney Spears has earned it.
No, she is not.
Britney Spears has 3 decades of good commerce and good uh
What the
uh
fuck?
good product with the not only American people, with the white man, the black man, and the white woman. It's a great demographic to hold.
What the fuck? I'm sorry, bro.
I'm just saying.
Sorry.
I've been holding off on my Britney takes for all this time. You didn't want to talk about the documentary. I'm letting it all out, goddamn it. Free Britney, goddamn it, she free. We out here.
Oh my God. You crazy. All
How?
right.
How?
Nigga, there is not a single
Fuck Perez Hill.
there is You the biggest gossip girl on the fucking fuck Perez. You know what? Perez, show some love to the show, nigga. I don't just cause you opt to this nigga's
Nigga ain't even a Hilton for real. Get the fuck out of here.
Like look, nigga.
Wait, is he?
Look, I don't know.
Like a cousin or something?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I really don't care. I don't care.
Yeah,
I listen to Griselda. But like my point is it like, dog, what's the most popular Britney Spears song? The most popular off the top of your dome.
The most popular off the top of my dome is like 5 different songs.
Don't matter. Name one.
Toxic.
That shit ain't popping at the Black Cookout. That shit ain't popping at the
Baby One More Time. Fucking
that shit ain't popping at the Black Cookout.
The video where she had all red on.
I don't know.
It was one of her biggest albums, but like every song on that like, what are you talking about?
That's not popping at the Black Cookout. It's damn sure not popping at the Latino Cookout. I'm sorry.
So you tell me a bunch of black girls get pigtails, schoolgirl outfits, Baby One More Time, come on, they do that dance. That's not rocking?
What fucking porn fantasy does that even happen in?
That's the video. What you mean? The video is a bunch of white girls, black girls, and Hispanic girls in pigtails and mini skirts and crop tops and like schoolgirl outfits doing the "You Drive Me Crazy" that shit. I just
2021.
I love that. I know. And that was 20 years ago, and I still love it. That's 2001 when that dropped, I think. And I still love it, and I still want her.
Pretty sure it was before that. I swear to God, it was before that. At least 23 years ago.
Drive Me Crazy was excited. I think that's 2 different songs. Baby One More Time and Drive Me Crazy might be 2 different songs. Either way, both huge when they drop. Huge.
No, look, I'm sorry.
Both dropped in the early 2000s. Both still rock today. Stop it.
No, they don't rock today.
Any girl that grew up in the suburbs is gonna twerk to some Britney Spears right now.
I think even for the white girls in the suburbs who grew up even in that time period, maybe only 40%. 40 is a max reach for her catalog.
That's a lot of people. You said 40%. That's a lot of people.
Not of the people. Of 40% of her catalog still hit today.
That's a lot. She has a big catalog. She got like 10 albums.
Well, we acknowledge 2. What? 2?
Okay, we can acknowledge the other ones. I don't know all the names off her albums, but I know she got 4 strong. If we're gonna say 40%, I know she has 4 strong ones because I bought them.
I'm ashamed of you. We're gonna move on.
She got 4 classics, nigga. I bought them. She for sure got 4 classics out of her whole catalog. We talking about pop music. She for sure got 4.
One day we're gonna do the last podcast of this show, like period, and I'm gonna bring this moment up. And
And I'm gonna stick to my guns. Because she might have 5 by then. Who knows? She ain't stopping. She just got her freedom back.
And if George doesn't die of a traumatic heart attack, he's still going to be doing the same job. So he's probably going to be piecing this shit together. And it's going to be older me still pointing and laughing at you even harder than I've ever have before, because it's going to make even less sense for you to give a fuck about Britney Spears in 20 years or 30
Why
years.
would it make less sense?
Dog.
I'll still be 10 years younger, 15 years younger, and I'll probably still want to fuck her. What are you talking about?
Britney Spears is nothing more than Kesha with better producers and
a clean body. What? Yeah, and a clean body. Same thing.
That's right. But now,
and no, not better producers. She can actually sing. That's a thing.
I don't think Kesha was trying to sing. I think Britney Spears was. So
I don't think Britney Spears was trying. I think Britney Spears was. I think Kesha was not trying. You give Britney Spears a microphone, she's not blowing Chloe out the fucking stage. She's not killing it like that. But I mean, you give her a mic with no fucking playback, she can do it.
She trash. Even her
Christina Aguilera has always been better. We know that. That's not what we're talking about right now.
I'm not even comparing her to Christina. I'm saying to the next bitch that I think is trash that is better than her. She trash. Like
I was saying that because that was what you probably don't know.
Like she booty, nigga.
That was like an old school beef between the both of them.
Christina
and Britney was like Beyonce and Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? For white folks.
Nah.
For white folks. In the early 2000s, for white folks, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was, but I don't even. I've always thought that shit was premature and like not even comparable, because it's like Christina always had the talent, like really had the talent. Britney didn't have the talent, but she had the financial backing.
How did Britney not have the talent? I never thought we spent so much time on Britney Spears, but how did Britney Spears not have the talent, sir? Excuse me?
She's still here?
Yeah.
No, she's not, nigga. The fuck out of
here. She drop her album, she's gonna be top 5, top 10 on the pop charts. What are you talking about?
Nigga, no. In 2021? In 2021, nigga? You fucking serious?
You think if Britney Spears dropped an album right now, she would not be top 5, top 10 on the charts? If she dropped an album, it's okay, let's say Tuesday night, Saturday morning. Let's say she drops an album Tuesday night at midnight. She's not gonna be top 5, top 10.
No.
You sound insane. You talking about I sound crazy? You sound crazy.
She's probably doing 40,000 straight week. First
40,000, nigga. What's the name? Just did 120. What are you talking about?
Nigga, think about it. The people who are all within that
time, just did 120.
Who was growing up during that time, nigga. They are not like, they are either our age or a little older. We're not listening to that same
bro, shit. You think motherfuckers that grew up listening to Britney Spears hardcore, that's 30 now, 28 now, 27 now, 29 now.
Those are the fucking 40,000, and that's it.
It's not, nigga, 40,000? You think she made a career off 40,000 people, bro? She got 40,000 hardcore fans, my nigga.
Doing hard copies? She's not doing hard copies. So what?
No, she's not. She's doing streams.
What? You saying that she gonna be compared to like the best streaming chicks today right now?
No, I didn't say that. But she's getting at least 80, 90. Not 40. 80, 90.
Britney, so you telling me right now that Britney Spears
drops an album this week. She's doing 80, 90 first week collection.
That's what Kanye did on his worst album as far as streams, which was Yay. Nigga, so
Kanye's bigger than her. That's not a comparison.
No. Yes, it is. It's a great comparison. Check me out.
Kanye's bigger than her. How? And she's been popular longer.
Check me out. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm having this fucking conversation with you. This is the stupidest fucking shit ever. All right, check me out.
You the one didn't want to watch the documentary.
I'm not, nigga. I'm not. I'm not a coon. I'm sorry.
I didn't watch it either, but I'm saying I only didn't watch it because you wouldn't.
Check me out. Kanye was still. Kanye never took a hiatus at the peak of his prime. Did coon shit, whatever. You know what I mean? This, that, and the other.
Never took a hiatus.
No, he never really took a hiatus from the game, nigga.
He canceled a whole tour and a half. Lost like $80 million. What are you talking about?
And released an album like 2 years later. It's not a hiatus, nigga.
That doesn't mean anything. You still paused. You still took a break. You had a whole schedule that was paid for. You had already been paid for shows. Shit was stages was set up. You shut that shit down because you couldn't take it.
You sit here in front of our faces because like he canceled the show and he canceled the show.
He didn't know how to shut the fuck up. That's different.
Still, he was in our faces. They ain't no hiatus, nigga. You still here. You still trying to entertain us. You're not giving us new music, but you're entertaining us. So it's still present in my mind. You being here. So you never really.
Britney was like that. She shaved her fucking head. She showed her pussy 10 times. What are you talking about? She was kicking it with Paris Hilton, getting fucked up.
It's 2021, nigga.
No, I'm saying when Kanye was doing that, that was what, 6, 7 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm saying if you're gonna compare her to Kanye, Kanye has been popular for a shorter amount of time. He's more popular now. So yeah, that's true what you're saying. But Britney has been so big so long, everything that's going on right now is still a big deal. Just like if Kanye was going through something similar, it would be a big deal.
No one cares like you people care. No one gives a fuck except for you 40,000 people who would, you 40,000 fucking streams that would contribute to her first week.
That's just not true.
Fucking true.
That's just not true. Hey, maybe second week. Maybe second week, not first.
Dog. No, because second week somebody else gonna drop, nigga. She gonna be out this bitch. No.
You sound crazy. Bro, Britney Spears is a pop queen. She's a pop music queen. Are you serious?
To who?
A lot of white folks. A lot of Caucasians that probably listen to this show and don't and never would. A lot of people.
I'm sure people think that fucking Aaron Carter is a fucking national treasure. But
no one thinks that. That's a drastic comparison. No one thinks that. No one thinks Aaron Carter is an American treasure. Stop.
I'm sure people do. I'm sure
no one thinks that. Nick maybe, because he wants to rob him. That's it. Wait, no, I think Nick got more money than Aaron. Aaron probably wants to rob Nick. No, nigga.
I think he's.
Didn't we talk about that one episode?
I think he tried by hand before. Like, but anyway, like, nigga, the point is.
Yeah, Nick got a restraining order on Aaron.
She like she at the very least is going to do half of what Kanye's shitty album would do today in 2021. So
Kanye is bigger than her, of course. That I will give you that. That's not saying anything. That's a fact. That's not saying anything.
You bent out of shape when I say 40,000.
Because that's just not a real number. You talking about Britney Spears? That's just not a real number. Unless Beyonce's dropping the same day, or Katy Perry's dropping the same day, or Adele's dropping the same day. That's just not a fact.
So you saying that you admit it? Kanye is the bigger artist, right?
Out of Britney Spears today, yeah, that's a fact.
So if when Kanye released a shitty album after going on a coon spree of this massive
rap music is bigger than pop music. You can release a rap album that does half the numbers of a pop album, and that pop album be good.
We're not discussing good or bad.
I'm saying in terms of the numbers, or in terms of what the statute is.
Confirming my point. So we saying that if his shittiest album did in stream numbers 93,000 or 96,000 or some shit like that first week, he would probably do half of that, which would be around like 45,000. Duh. That's all I'm trying to say to you. Like she's not She not doing 100,000, fam. I know your fanboyness wants it to fucking happen. You want to say like, yeah, my Nubian white queen that I coon for so much, I was like, she gonna do 100,000. She not doing 100,000 in 2021. B.
See, ain't even all
No
that.
one
You
give
on
that
some
much
bullshit.
of a fuck. No one gives that much of a fuck, yo.
It's not that no one gives that
About
much of a fuck.
Britney Spears today in 2021, unless you were a diehard fan. If you was one of those people that was subscribing to like the fan clubs and the newsletters and all that shit from back in the day, yeah, you were part of that 40,000 streams first week. You ain't saying that she ain't eating at all, but y'all part of that. But there's a big, huge amount of people who was like, nigga, you just moved on from that shit. You just don't give a fuck. Think about all the artists that when you was a kid, they was dope as fuck to you. But now today, you just like, yeah, I can't believe I like that shit. There's probably a lot of those that bought her album back then too. A lot of hype beasts too. So it's like the same albums. You can't expect the same level of album sales to contribute, like to transfer out over today based on
nobody's saying that. Nigga, Britney Spears in 2001 first week is doing like 300,000, 200,000 copies. Britney Spears in 2020, yeah, I see why you might say 40, but let's be honest. She hasn't put out an album in 8 years, 9 years, 7 years. She's been in the news for more about her life than what you know her for. If Britney Spears was to drop an album, let's say this week, yeah, she's killing the pop charts. She ain't knocking Drake off, but she killing the pop charts. Drake, I'm sure, got a record from the album on the pop charts. She's not knocking that one off, but she gonna have a single that's gonna be with it. She gonna be right next to him, or at least a spot down, a spot below.
Nah, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Can't buy it. I can't buy it because I think, and this is the world's landscape of the world we live in. If Ariana Grande released a fucking single, it's doing more numbers than hers.
Ariana murder her. Ariana murder Britney right now.
Yeah.
Ariana murder her.
Yeah.
Ariana's the new Britney.
No, she's better than that. You downplaying Ariana.
No, she is. No, that's what I'm saying. She's better, but she's the new version of that in terms of came from Nickelodeon instead of Disney. Came from Nickelodeon, did her thing, became the biggest star in the world, and is still killing it. Same shit, just different channel.
No.
Yeah, just Nickelodeon. That's the only difference.
At this point, Ariana Grande has actually had a longer prime than Britney Spears. And I think it's a downplay on playing out the saying that Ariana is comparable to Britney Spears. Ariana is comparable.
Britney Spears' run was like 10 years. What are you talking about?
Ariana is close to what? 8? She's like 8, 9.
Yeah. She ain't there yet, but yeah.
Still going strong.
That's still matching it. That's not going further.
But Britney Spears,
but Britney Spears 99 to 2009. Britney Spears 2009, still top of the chart. No, still top of the chart.
But
she dropped an album #1. I'm talking about performance. #1, still touring. #1, still #1, still.
Who was the comp other than Christina? I was like, who was the comp other than Christina?
Shakira, Mary J.
She just got there.
Not Mary J. No, she's R&B. She don't count. Yeah, she don't count. Let's say Shakira, Christina.
Just got there at that time.
Who, Shakira?
Yeah, like she was new.
What year you talking about?
You talking about like 2009, like towards like the end.
Shakira did not get there in 2009.
No, but she was new.
Shakira had hits when we were in middle school. Stop it.
Here, when I say
right now, nigga, yeah, what was the last hit Shakira, Christina, or Britney had? When was the last hit either one of them had?
What the fuck do you be hearing? Like, you hear just keywords when I say sentences, or do you hear the whole fucking thing?
You said right now, right? Like in 2021.
I said here. When she got here, when Shakira started making noise in the United States. Not about like
that's the only thing we will be talking about. Why would we be talking about her? I don't know nothing about.
Because
why would we be talking about?
Because you brought up the hit she had when we was like in middle school, like that young nigga. Those are like the Latin hits before she got popping here.
If I heard it in middle school, she was already popping here because I saw it on MTV, my nigga. What are you talking about? Same difference.
Nah.
Whether you big over there, you big over here. Regardless. She was big at the time. She was a pop. Regardless. She wasn't. What would you call it? She wasn't a.
I really don't give a fuck about the Shakira point. The point is, Ariana Grande is more comparable to Mariah Carey than she is to Britney Spears.
Mariah Carey can't even.
Ariana,
I can't even believe I'm about to say this out loud. I can't even believe I'm about to say this out loud.
Produce the breakdown. Mariah, Ariana. Performances, divas, Ariana, Mariah are comparable. You can't even say that fucking Britney Spears is in the same singing class as Ariana. What the fuck are you smoking?
Okay. I'll give you that for sure. Ariana's killing Britney Spears and singing. Overall, pop artist, pop queen. I'm pretty sure, as good as that sounds on paper, if you had the actual release happen, Ariana's feeling both up today. Let's give Ariana. Let's say Ariana fades out, and then we put them in that ring, and we just going hit for hit. It's a versus Ariana versus Britney versus Mariah. Britney might win.
You fucking stupid. We moving on. That's a stupidest shit.
No, it's not. Britney got better songs. I'm just saying. Okay, Mariah got "We Belong Together," the Christmas joint, "Touch Me."
We're not doing that. This is the reason why you never gonna release an album. It's probably trash because that is fucking garbage. Like, what the fuck?
I feel like a lot of people would agree with me.
You out your mind.
I feel like a lot of people would agree with me.
Bugging.
Please tell me if you don't. I feel like a lot of people would agree with me.
Bugging, fam. I'm not even a fan of Ariana Grande songs like that. But guess what? I know them shits go. And so we talking about comparison of like in comparison to fucking Britney Spears, nigga. If them two went head to head in the verses, nigga, that'd be the closest thing. But you know what? Ariana's still smoking that ass after Britney Spears clears off her 8th song that she got, and that's it. And then
we going hit for hit. If we doing it like a regular verse, if we doing like singing, like Ariana better singer or Britney a better singer, Ariana's gonna win. We going hit for hit. I think Britney winning that.
Negative, nigga. I
think Britney winning that, bro.
Negative.
She got too many. I'm pretty sure Ariana has probably sampled her. Nigga, I haven't heard every Ariana album or every track on every album, but I'm pretty sure she probably sampled her. I don't know. It's probably
did a fucking better job. God damn it. The fuck?
Depends on what she did to it.
You fucking Stanley. You weak as hell. I can't believe you really just.
Hey.
Oh my God.
You the only person I know that would think
you need to go to rehab. That's some crazy shit.
No, I don't. I think that's very sane to say. Ariana would beat Britney singing, but hit for hit over the last. You put the last 10 years of Ariana career versus 10 years of let's say the best 10 years of each. Britney's better.
Nigga, no.
Britney kissed Madonna at her prime.
So the fuck what? Everybody's kissed Madonna, nigga. The fuck you mean?
I haven't yet. I want to.
You ain't got no money. But
hey, Madonna.
You get.
I
will.
will.
You probably get $50 million, $100 million. You can kiss Madonna. You probably did.
I'm not trying to kiss her. Look. I know I said off air I wouldn't, but I would.
You know, Madonna's one of those type of people that get drunk and get too happy, and then she gets you be like, oh shit. All right, yeah, like that's the whole party, nigga. Now you got to get checked for mono next day.
Hey, there will be no Madonna slander on this podcast.
There won't be none, but I'm gonna tell the truth. God damn it, the whole truth.
You don't know the truth, sir.
Nigga, y'all niggas can't handle the truth. That's why the fuck you so butthurt when I told you that your bitch ain't gonna do fucking 90,000 in the first week in 2021.
She's definitely doing 90,000.
She gonna do 35,000 if she don't.
75 is the low ball, my nigga. 75 is the low ball. Shit. What's the name? Just did. I'm trying to remember who the fuck that was that just put out an album. They were completely irrelevant, and they just did 121 their first week. I don't remember who it was, but
your man's R.
They
Kelly.
Just did that shit.
Your man's R. Kelly need to release an album, nigga. To fucking
Well, see, that's what I thought. That's what I thought was a great segue into this, was the fact that that's another person who was very popular around the same time, who you could say was a king of his craft, and it just feels weird giving R. Kelly compliments now. You could say he was that.
He was shit compared to Jeffrey Epstein. Oh damn, that's nasty.
That's probably a compliment to Jeffrey, but still weird.
Yeah, if you're gonna be an internationally nasty motherfucker, yeah, R. Kelly is definitely up there. He top 5. He dialing, but Epstein.
Okay, wait.
Got a bigger. He had like a real criminal network. That was something different. Like he was been like him. He had himself a whole she pimp, and him and them like them two niggas together was like pimping to fucking like senators and fucking like real people that run the world and shit.
Let's
like,
be honest. They was trying to pimp it to utopia, which is what any real pimp does, but they just went about it in the worst way. But you're supposed to pimp into utopia because pimping is pimping is pimping.
Yeah, but don't pimp little girls. That's not cool.
Yeah, that's where that's where
that's not cool. That's not.
Yeah,
But if you got hoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. Do you volunteer in to hold them? Like psychologically.
Yeah, there's an element.
There has to be like
there's an element of I want to do this for you versus I think.
You think that's what Kanye was probably meaning when he said that out loud? Like he was trying to think of it like that, but he just got it just fucked up because he Kanye and he's stupid as fuck.
What you mean? What did he?
Because technically, well, when he's talking about slavery as a choice, because you can look at it in the sense of that way, of saying like, if you a hoe being pimped, and you keep waking up and going out throughout your day just being pimped, knowing that damn well. Your ass can legit get up in a fucking cab and go to the fucking, you know what I'm saying?
No, like, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do that to me. You're not going to do that to me.
Do what?
You're not going to do that to me.
Do what?
I proposed a similar idea when the nigga said the shit and you called me crazy.
No, I'm saying that type of way is a way that you're volunteering. You're volunteering to be a slave. But when I'm saying
you're looking at it from a different angle.
Yeah. But no, I'm saying, but he said slavery was a choice, which is false in all of its ways. But what I'm saying is there is some type of choice slavery, which is that. You
could say being in prison is choice slavery. You knew the law.
No.
You knew the law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse to not abide by it.
No.
Just because you went to prison in Arizona don't mean shit, nigga. You a slave now.
Nah.
You knew you shouldn't have did that shit before you did it.
But
that's why it's there.
Yeah, but realistically, nigga, what am I like? I'm just supposed to be in prison, right? I'm supposed to do my time in isolation or whatever to fucking be away from society.
Being in prison in America means you are a slave.
Exactly, but it's like.
But that's by law. That's legal slavery.
Yeah,
so that's. You signed up for it because you broke what you knew was wrong. You did something you knew was fucked up.
But I'm not volunteering my life to be going into prison.
Nobody volunteers to get caught, nigga.
Exactly. So
you just get caught.
So therefore, I'm not volunteering to be a slave in the pen. Like I'm not volunteering for that, nigga.
But you still knew what you was doing was wrong, which is the real point. You still knew what you was doing before you got to prison might land you in prison. So you in prison, that's your fault.
But
that's kind of like the argument that everybody that never been to jail has.
Yeah, but those laws are always biased and have agendas based on what the white man in America is putting down upon them.
Yeah, but those views are usually held by those people, but those views are powerful and real nonetheless. So you can't say that that's not a thing.
I'm not saying that it's not a thing, but you also got to pull into account in that situation that but most laws are made up to catch up minorities and put us in it. So it's like you're kind of almost destined to end up a slave again without even attempting to try to do it. You can
be a white slave. There's plenty of white folks. For the sake of what we're talking about, there's plenty of white folks in jail too.
Not as many.
But that's not the argument.
Comparable.
That's not the argument, though. The argument is it slavery and did you sign up for it? Yeah. If you in jail and you got caught.
But there are white niggas.
Same shit.
Fucked up.
You knew it was bad to pee on kids, but you did it.
Did he know for real though? Did he know?
He didn't know. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in the sense that he probably didn't know that the sexual act itself was illegal, but the age is the problem. If you peed on a 21-year-old, nobody would be saying shit. You peed on a 14-year-old.
See, this is what I'm gonna hate. I'm gonna somewhat hate what I'm about to say because it's gonna sound like I am cutting him bail, which I'm not. But I think when at a certain point, you gotta believe somewhat, as a certain sexual deviant like R. Kelly is, that what you're doing cannot be that bad, especially if you do it continuously. You feel me? Because it's like over the course of time. Like, for example, if, not saying that either one of us has done this, but if you if you 18 years old, you technically legal, you're a grown man, right? And you smash a 15-year-old, but she lied to you about her age, and you was like, oh shit. And you in a jam, and you was like, all right, you're not gonna say nothing, I'm not gonna say nothing, we moving on with life. And you after that, you checking IDs. It's something different because it's like you may have had a moment that was regrettable, disgusting. You may look at yourself in defilement, but it's like that's not a continuing thing. You know something is not okay. It didn't feel okay after you knew. Cleared the board, moved on with life in a better and safer way. But if you like, oh shit, this chick 15. That ain't so bad. Nobody said nothing. I don't think I'm gonna get caught. She ain't gonna say nothing. And then if you let that break off, then you run into maybe another. Now you're a little older, but you run into a 17-year-old. You're like, well, shit, like shit worked out with the 15-year-old for a minute. So, and she a little older. This shit, she'll work out better. Now you in a box where it's like you making excuses in your own head of why this shit's okay, especially because you've gotten away with the shit. So it's like, that's why
I feel like even though 15, 17 is different, motherfucking, because 17 is legal in some states. 15 is legal in not many states.
Look, even
depending on which one it is, your ass can still.
Nigga,
I think you can get that feeling across and get that point across without maybe doing that.
Bro, age of consent.
You know what I mean?
Age of consent can be 14 years old, nigga. If you a fucking 45, 50-something-year-old man fucking that 14-year-old, nigga, you nasty, you wrong, and that's some type of rape, nigga. I don't give a fuck what the law or state or county says. That shit gross.
That's where it goes. That's where it goes into though. Like, where is it? Where, well, like, I think when motherfuckers think of that, they think like usually if let's say a 15, 16, 17 motherfucker is trying to do something with somebody, you would think that they're older. You probably think they're in their 20s. You don't think 40s automatically 30s. If you find out that type of shit going on, then you know it's something else happening. And either old girl getting off on him or he getting off on her. And if she getting off on him, good for her. But too little too early to be getting off on it still.
My general point is I think he really didn't see a problem with anything that he was doing in his head. And that's why it happened for so long. That's why he was able to get other people to help enable him to continue doing it. And that's where it goes. Now,
well, yeah, R. Kelly had an unusual amount of resources to do what he did.
Absolutely.
Over the course of time, he did it.
Yeah. So I was talking to Mrs. Ortega about this shit the other day after we got the verdict and shit. And I came to a realization. And it just it just went off in my head. I was like, wow. He got found out, they got his ass on the Fed cases. You still got to fight the state.
That's just the first case. They still got to give him sentencing in the whole other city.
Like 3 other state cases or some shit. Shit, wow. But I'm like, all right, he lost the Fed one. That's gonna be those gonna be the big boy numbers to the right now until he gets sentenced and or has to go to trial for the state ones. And that's where you get the petty judges that toss 130 years in your face like you gonna live them shits. So, but for real. But it made me think. I was like, you know what? R. Kelly, as a motherfucker that's just as illiterate as fucking Floyd Mayweather, was able to put together this type of sexual deviancy ring for himself personally and get away with the shit for 30 years.
I mean, a dumb motherfucker can start a business. That ain't nothing special.
Hold me up. And they about to nail this nigga to the motherfucking wall, and it's about to be something evil. We all know this shit is going to be the rape of all century when this nigga, the numbers start flying at this nigga.
He thought he raped people.
Oh.
That's not gonna.
They gonna throw him in there with booty warrior, nigga. They gonna have all types of fun. But
you like booty, huh?
I don't think the booty warrior want none of the R. Kelly thing. He might turn R.
You gotta do it just to say you did it. You gotta do it just to say you did it.
But it made me think. All right, they probably really, really wanted to bag Epstein like the feds did, but they couldn't do it because quote unquote killed himself. But they got the sheep. They got the sheep pimp. You feel me? So they got her. They got her on the raps real fucking smooth. They was running an international sex trafficking ring. So for what she know is probably way more valuable alone than just R. Kelly is. But if we talking about R. Kelly from what he's done personally, let's say he gets 4 life sentences. What the rest of these
more than that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, let's just say 4 examples. The motherfuckers that probably she could implicate and is implicating is probably gonna be way heavier, or at least they're gonna have a bar of standard for where the motherfucking these numbers is gonna come out at. So if R. Kelly is the bottom bar, yeah. If he's the bottom, some shit's going to get tossed around. We talking about international sex rate. This is some shit that been happening on the islands and the motifs and shit.
That's what I was about to say. I feel like if Gayleen say too much, or if she say everything, and the feds say too much, whoever it is handling that type of case, if they say too much, that's the type of shit that could fuck up a nation. Because maybe your leader is wrapped up in it. Maybe your leader's right hand man is wrapped up in it. That's the type. That's not music industry bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a little different.
That's what I'm saying. Like R. Kelly,
a little different.
R. Kelly shit was just a personal level. This shit was just feeding his sexual deviancy. And we're talking about
Galen was like, that was a business.
Yeah,
that was a business, my nigga.
Like, you were servicing other people, nigga. Like it wasn't just like yeah, Jeffrey was getting his naughty erotic massages.
He got his little payments, but
right, he got it.
There was a lot of other niggas that paid to be there.
He was facilitating other people on top of that. So it's like if they give R. Kelly full life sentences shit for this nationally doing this shit, like
you could probably argue. You could probably argue R. Kelly's was international.
You could say that.
I'm sure that's probably not part of what they're trying to get him on, but you could probably argue it. R. Kelly probably left the country a lot in the last 10, 15 years. I'm sure he brought someone with him to have sex with. If not, found someone to bring back home.
Look, R. Kelly is just
who knows? Who knows?
Like R. Kelly's a fucking moron as it is anyway. And you know what? I'm not trying to give criminal advice, but it's just a simple thing. When you cross state lines and international lines with shit, ain't no more state time. Just being real. Ain't no more.
As a nigga that's been pulled over at customs without anything on him, if you know what it's like to get through with anything on you, they're two very different feelings. That's all I'll say about that. They're two very different feelings.
I mean, people to think. Ain't no more state time once you cross state lines. Fun fact before we move on off
country, whatever, same shit. It's all gonna be a problem if you get caught.
Yep. Fun fact before we move on to other shit. John Dillinger, great bank robber and shit from back in the day. You know what the fuck was the reason why he ended up getting like massively caught, like why the feds ended up on his ass? Because when he stole a car after escaping from jail and shit, he crossed state lines with the bitch, which then made that Grand Theft Auto and now federal issue. And that's what broke his dumb ass down, and that's what got the feds on his ass. It wasn't that he went from like that he robbed a bank in this state and that state and that state, because then they were just individual state bank robberies. But the fact that he took one car from one state to another implicated him in now federal.
I feel like that's an early 1900s white man rule or early 1800s white man rule. Late, mid 1800s. I feel like that's a white guy rule.
No, because you still.
I feel like if I don't catch you in the States, how do you rob a bank state? How do you rob bank state to state without crossing state lines, my nigga? You can't.
No.
So then if you tell me, oh, well, if I don't catch you in this state, whatever. But if I catch you in this state, I can't charge you for that state. But you did it in this state. But then if I catch you and I know you did it in this state and then you cross this line up.
Yep, it's like a loophole.
Fuck out of here.
Because you're not supposed to, like, if you steal a car and now you travel to a different state with the motherfucker and shit, it's technically trafficking stolen goods. That's why they get it. Like, that's where the shit always gets fucked up.
Alcohol used to be illegal too. Suck my dick.
That's why the feds was on them, because they was transferring between state to state, which made it a federal thing. It wasn't.
That sounds like how they got Al Capone on tax fraud. You just couldn't find nothing else. Huh? You just couldn't really get me. You just had to find the easiest, most. Fuck no, you. You didn't even try.
That's why shit like drug trafficking as a charge actually exists.
No, that's why RICO cases are so fucked. That's what that is. That's why RICO cases are so fucked up.
RICO cases are fucked up because I personally believe because they implicate you in all the other crimes, and that's what makes it a.
That's my point.
They charge shit up.
That's my point. You guilty just by association.
Yeah, like nigga, if them niggas is trapping, but I'm associated with them niggas, and we niggas just running books. Why the fuck should I get a life sentence for running books now? Because these niggas was trapping. And we just know each other. Like,
because you was trapping for the niggas that, or you was running books for the niggas that was trapping. That's what.
Nah, I just work with them.
And the niggas they was trapping for was running for niggas. They was killing niggas. The niggas It's a whole thing.
I ain't killed.
But that's my point, though.
I ain't
That's my point.
Nobody. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why Rico to me is fucked up, because it's like, yo, yeah, I'm not snitching regardless, but nigga, how the fuck you gonna put me on implications of murder and shit and racketeering?
Even though what we're talking about is
I run books.
Different. If you're if you somebody that was an R. Kelly camp and you knew what was going on, say shit. I mean, I think we talked about that before.
You an enabler.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you an enabler. Somebody you can't have. There's no way. And this is what I was talking about to Mrs. Ortega about too. There's no way you can have some type of enterprise going like that without having enablers. There's no fucking way, especially if you're doing it for 30 years. More.
Hear me out.
Way.
Hear me out. When I was looking at the 5 of 7 of the first episodes of fucking the first season of Surviving R. Kelly, the first 5 I watched, I couldn't stand the last 2 or didn't care about the second season. It was enough. I didn't see the second season. I had enough. Yeah. I got this episode, like I said, episode 5 of the first one. And I'm like, I get it. When you're in that situation, I think we talked about it on the podcast. You can probably go back some episodes and maybe hear us debating it.
I don't think there's a thought that we haven't expressed on this mind, whether it be funny or not funny.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's come up before, but I've always thought about the guy that was like, I think he was the bus driver or something. He was one of R. Kelly's handlers or one of his people. And he was like, I mean, yeah, like I ain't know it was like that. Like I was there, I saw certain shit, but like I always kind of felt for that guy because it's like, nigga, you look just as bad. But if what you saying is true, you still look just as bad. But if what you're saying is true, that's kind of fucked up that you look just as bad. Like,
I mean, you, in a sense of, like, this is just me. I'm the type of person, personally, that if I seen a dude whooping up on his woman in the street, whether that's his,
you gotta do something about it. You gotta.
I'm gonna run up on.
Something.
I'm gonna run
throw
up
something
on
at a motherfucker. Something. You gotta do something.
This is one of them real ass whoopings. It's a I'm Batman ass whoopings. Like you gonna get one of these. Yeah. You catching a super.
Even if she in the wrong, I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, like,
I just don't want to see it.
That shit can't come across my line of sight, and you gonna be okay. I'm sorry, you not. At the very least,
I don't care if you bigger than me. It's just gotta be like, yo, what the fuck? Relax. Yeah, it's gotta be some sort of mediation to be like, yo, so even if I gotta fight your ass, something.
Even if you bigger than me, nigga,
we gotta. Don't do that shit, dog. Relax.
Even if you bigger than me, nigga, I'm coming through like Craig with the brick, nigga. What's up, Debo? Look like nigga, no, like that shit can't come across my.
I've done both. I've done both in high school. In and out of high school, I've done both. So I know what you.
So my whole shit is my shit would be, all right, if I seen this and I'm trying to question it or kind of compute it, like nigga, that nigga just go in there with that teenage girl, and I'm trying to process it. The next thing I'm going to try to do is confirm it through somebody else's eyes. Like, keyword.
She was she a teenager, right?
Yeah. Like,
what you doing?
Kicking it they're kicking it like that and shit. Woo. Yeah. Then the third thing I would do is not see if he realizes that. Like, you do know that shawty, you aware. For sure.
Now see, if that's starting off and that's Aaliyah. Let's say that's the conversation, and this is R. Kelly, and you the nigga that I think I'm talking about that was in that season, that I'm talking about, that like I kind of felt for it. He was around a while. You see that, but that girl is Aaliyah. What do you say? Aaliyah is still Aaliyah. R. Kelly still R. Kelly. You just work for him.
Yeah, but
not shooting them bail, just saying. What do you do?
But
if you work for the nigga, what do you do?
I'm a dad first, So out the gate,
You would think that instinct would kick in, right?
Out the gate, my instinct would be, because if you're saying if I know, I've been around a while, so I'm trying to think unbiasedly right now. I would at first, because I'm like, all right, this is already Aaliyah. So she's somebody, all right. If by the time I see her, like,
even at 15, 16, or 17, whatever it was.
Yeah, she was somebody. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to like her peoples first and make sure that they know. Like, look, fam, I seen some shit. Now, I wanted to react. And honestly, the dad in me wanted to beat the shit out this nigga. But I feel like that's your kid. I'll let you know. So if that's what you decide to do, then cool. If that's not what they decide to do, per se, I'm faced with the personal dilemma of, am I going to quit and be a whistleblower? Or am I going to beat this nigga ass, as I would, or am I going to be an enabler and just turn a blind eye and say, that's what he doing. I'm not going to tell him no. He employs me. Now you faced with that dilemma. Now I
think those are two different people.
But I'm just saying, now you are put in a position though, realistically, to whether you gonna be a real nigga or are you gonna cower? Because two of those things, like 2 out of the 3 that I just gave, are real nigga instances, and one's really a coward. So you have 3 options, really. You don't got 2, you got 3. Now, what are you choosing to do? If you choose to cower after you've seen what you've seen, everybody that, I mean, after you know what you know, everybody that happens to after that, you, I feel like, are an accomplice too. Because you know what's popping, you not saying nothing, and you turning a blind eye to it, knowing that this nigga is sexual deviant. Now, you might not, now, if your niece or whatever want to meet R. Kelly, like, or a family member or some shit, you might invite them, you know what I'm saying? You might introduce them still, because you work for R. Kelly. But you probably are going to be a little bit like, nah, like, don't go with R. Kelly to the back. You stick with us tonight. Don't go off with that nigga. Like, you're like, nah, come this way. Now,
I mean, you're not really the one that's in control of that at that point. R. Kelly. So if R. Kelly says, like in that situation, from how it's been described, it's usually what he says goes. So if he says, "Come to the back with me," if you just his assistant or his manager or something, you like, "Yo, what is you doing? Like, what are you doing?" Excuse me. That's where it gets dark and weird. But anyway, moving on.
But like I said, like if you, that's a real nigga moment of like, yeah, nigga, you can sacrifice but like, we're straight up. If you the nigga that beats R. Kelly ass, even if you end up in jail, and everybody's like, why the fuck are you in here and shit? And I'm like, I beat Robert Kelly's ass.
Yeah, if somebody really whooped his ass about that shit, he probably could have changed the last 15 years.
Yeah, because at that point, what do you say? Is it just like, what'd you do it for? Because that nigga was fucking touching little girls and shit, and I knew about it. Like, I wasn't turning a blind eye. I checked about it. Like,
you think maybe
he was on some like fuck you shit, and I beat the shit out that nigga. What you mean?
You think maybe something might change in him, even if whatever happens to them happens to him, like lose their job, whatever, go to jail, whatever. Maybe he doesn't do the things he does if he gets his ass whooped in 2099 and 98.
You right. You right.
Maybe none of this other shit happens. Maybe that Boondocks episode doesn't become a real life thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and for being a real nigga, I always believe, and this is some real nigga shit. I always believe that if you do real nigga shit, be a stand-up guy, and in life, you gonna receive blessings. Life is full of shortcomings, regardless. But you'll get your blessings for being a stand-up dude. You know what I mean? So if you take a stand-up moment and standing on morals and beat the shit out of somebody as being immoral in almost every fucking way, you might lose your job, but somebody gonna give you that call and be like, yo, you the nigga that whoop R. Kelly ass? Yo, that shit was crazy, nigga. I need somebody in my corner like you just in case something pop off.
That's a fact.
There you go. And there's another fucking job.
And I got an example on the smallest scale. Personal story. When I was in middle school, I whooped this little white kid's ass. David Foreman. Shout out to David. He was a grade above me.
George, bleep that out. Bleep out the name. Just bleep.
That motherfucker ain't got no pull nowhere.
It don't matter, nigga. D'Angelo Bailey sued Eminem, nigga, for saying song. Saying.
Oh yeah, that might be a problem later, right? Yeah, bleep that.
Yeah, bleep that, George.
Anyway, whooped his ass. So I was in 7th grade. He was in 8th grade. But no, he was in 9th grade. I was in 8th grade, and he had came back to the school. We had been cool for a year, but he had came back to the school because he had flunked the class, so he had to take this one class over or whatever. So he was still coming back to the middle school to take this little class for 8th grade. Dumb motherfucker.
Slow ass nigga.
So anyway, for some reason he started popping off one day in front of all the hot chicks in the motherfucking in the home ec class. Like we was taking home ec cooking and whatnot.
This nigga
he was popping off
dusty as fuck.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He was talking about I'm fat and all this shit. My Kango dusty, nigga. My lab coat ain't right. All that shit. Motherfucking.
This nigga lab coat got Reggie smoke on it. Look at it, nigga.
In front of all the bad bitches in 8th grade. So, you know, they laugh. David's so funny. Bleep. Bleep is so funny. Bleep is so funny. And I took that shit for about 4-5 minutes. Anyway, it ended with me stomping him out on the floor with my Tim's on, and the teacher pulling me off of him, and everybody like, "Oh,
God
shit.
Bless the Cameron days."
Right? And I'm pretty sure that was an influence. It started up top. I beat him under the table, and then I just started stomping him out. I just happened to have Tim's on. Anyway, the whole point to saying all of this is the nigga was such a dick that I got suspended for less time than I should have because nobody liked it. And then I came back to school and everybody was like, "Oh, you beat old boy ass?" I was like, "Yeah." It was like, "Oh, word." I was going to football games, high schoolers in 9th grade, 8th grade. They come into the middle school game. "Oh, you beat, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That was an experience.
You will always be rewarded for being a stand-up nigga. Always. That's word from the wise. Peace, God.
Yeah.
You know
what else happened this week though? Other than nasty niggas and white folks.
You get to have your Stanley Joy moment at the Super Bowl. You watch the Super Bowl this year. I know your Stanley ass gonna watch the Super Bowl. I know you is to perform. Don't act like you not, bitch. Yeah, I know you smile. You jump for joy like Kevin Gates did, like High School Musical 4. Like when you found out M was gonna be doing it. Did you do it? You know you did it. You know you jumped like Kevin Gates. You know you did it. You know you seen that jump.
It took you saying it the second time for it to register, but yeah, I saw that shit. Why is he jumping like that anywhere?
Nah, nigga. It ain't the same.
Why?
It ain't the same, son. That's what happens when you don't get your proteins properly. You start.
See what happened when he is the perfect. See what happened when big niggas get skinny. Big niggas is supposed to be big. We might just shave a couple off. Yeah, go ahead, shave a couple off. See what happened when you start trying to get a 6-pack, 8-pack, start with feathers in your head. Shit, see that? No, and there ain't no slight on Gates. Gates still cool, but you can't be jumping it. You can't be jumping in the air like that. It just don't look right. That's not gangster. That's not gangster. That's just not gangster.
That's like file number 4, nigga. You can't just keep giving this nigga files.
He got like 2 more. He got 2 more before he file out. He got 2 more. You got to give him that. He got 2 more.
Yes, he only got 2 more before he file out, but
he got 2
the files very quickly, nigga. It's like they're not happening.
He got 2 in the first for sure. He got 2 in the first.
So you had to bench him for a minute. So, but when he came back, he got one right out the gate. Like right out the gate.
He gates though.
Yeah, but this
you gotta give him a pass. That's like a double entendre. You kind of gotta give him a pass because Gates came out the gates like Gates. Duh, nigga.
Nah. You know what? Gates about to wear a dress. He a step away from that. Like he a legit step away from that. You don't even lie and say he not. Don't even lie and say he not. He about to do some Westbrook.
I'm not lying when I say he's not. I don't think he's that far gone. No.
He's that far gone. Nigga, bruh.
Look, the feathers were a stretch. I'll give you that.
The sperm retention. Come on, bruh.
I was on board with that.
So you not gonna nut while you fucking your bitch because you're afraid
that's not what I thought. No,
that you're afraid that. Yeah, that's
not the same thing. No, the thing I was talking about was the shit that he said about he was talking about just like not beating your dick for like a year or something. Like not coming for a year.
No, he was talking about not coming, period. That's what sperm retention is. Like you not pretty. Like even when you fucking you not coming.
Tell me this. I feel like you just told me this last episode. And that still was like last episode. What?
It was a couple episodes ago. It was one when George was there.
I feel like you told me that, and I was like, what? And I'm still like, what?
Yeah, you can go on. I forgot who the fuck he did the interview. I think it was Mike Tyson. Yeah, I think it was Mike Tyson.
Like the podcast?
Yeah, on Hot Boxing. I'm pretty sure it was Mike Tyson.
I follow that page, y'all. That must have been recent because I hadn't seen him upload Mike upload a podcast in like a month or 2. He was training niggas.
He just did one with Gibbs. Yeah. I think that one came out this
Maybe I haven't paid attention the last few weeks, but last time I scrolled by the page, by his shit, it said he hadn't uploaded a podcast in like a month or 2, and it had been the last one was him. He was interviewing like a fighter, and then the video after that was him training some niggas.
I'm about to say the one where he had with Kevin Gates, or at least when I seen that, had to be. It was warm out, so it was either like in the springtime for sure or through the summer. But it was through that time period. So, but yeah, like not giving. He was talking about how his skin was turning gray because he was pretty much giving all his energy, his sperm, to like bitches and shit when he fucking instead of, you know what I'm saying, and how giving that energy to her makes her more vibrant and makes her better. Makes her function better, but then you are tired, you drained, you can't do nothing. His skin turning gray, and that's because he nothing. So he just not nothing and shit, and it's making him feel better.
That might be some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life.
I'm summarizing, but that's what it is. That's exactly how I felt. I'm like, with the feather in his hair too. Like he had on the super like tight ass motherfucking.
And he was towing like this, dog. It's like, you know, it's like really convincingly saying it.
No, he was on his Kevin Gates feather hair man bun shit where he was just talking to the mic, like, you know what I'm saying, and being real about what, you know what I'm saying, how he feeling and shit, you know, like he was talking real, like, he was like on some real shit, like he was like, nigga, she can go about and do and go to work and have a good day, and I'm feeling drained, like I can't even go to the studio, like I ain't got no inspiration to do nothing, and that's because I give her all my spirit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, people watching this, look at me. I myself personally have made a lot of excuses for writer's block. That's not only is that not one of them, that sounds like some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
That's exactly what I said.
And not saying Gates is a dumb person, but that is a dumb idea to believe in. I wouldn't even say believe in. Let's not say believe in.
No,
Let's just say
that's
a dumb idea to entertain.
Yeah, immediately after that, seeing that and him saying
That's fucking stupid.
I paused and thought to myself, I was like, wait, I've literally fucked my wife and went to do this podcast and had some of the greatest episodes we've ever had, and having been more energetic and more into it than ever, and didn't feel not the least bit drained.
I mean, doing
physically.
Granted, doing a live show is different. Doing a live show is different. Maybe he's talking about in terms of recording new music or touring. Hey, maybe you need to.
We drop a double album. We've been dropping a double album every week, at least once for 175 episodes.
Yeah.
There's days when we don't have shit to talk about because there is dry weeks in the year, believe it or not, people, and have absolutely nothing to talk about, have no inspiration to talk about anything. And realistically, sometimes if we wasn't having to come together to even do the shit, we probably wouldn't call each other to even talk about shit because shit didn't worth nothing happening to talk about anyway, other than our own personal lives. And we still come out here and give that straight audio brick. I'm not retaining sperm, yo.
See, see, this is where I gotta shoot Gates and Bell because I get what you're saying when you say that. We do that every week, but I think coming up with material song wise isn't the same as what we do. Podcasting and making music is different. They're two different games. But you can smash a lot more into a podcast if edited and produced right. That will make it similar, I guess. You could see a similar reaction, I guess, but they're two different things.
That every great MC that I know, including yourself, I believe every great MC.
After my shitty computer took a shit, we're back. Well, great computer took a shit. It had to take a shit. Sometimes you gotta take a shit.
Anyway, so I have this theory that I believe that all great MCs should at least at the minimal level should be able to record a song a day if they have the equipment or the availability around them. At least a song a day.
Reasonable.
So even if you release a song a day, you know what I mean, or release collectively a song a day, you should be able to at least put out an EP a week. Not saying that any MC should try to do this. Like, that's just preposterous. Some have tried, a lot have failed. So, not saying that anyone should be able to do such a thing. But you should be able to. Today, I believe Kevin Gates is at a certain point of shittiness that he should not attempt to put out any music right now. He should sit his ass the fuck down. And
that doesn't make any sense. You only think he's shitty because A, he didn't get invited to the Super Bowl, which, I mean, why would he? But B, you just don't like the way he looks right now, which isn't a reason enough to just be like, fuck this guy.
Nah, his music ass too now. I've said that.
It's not though.
It's ass.
It's changed.
It's booty meat.
It's changed.
It's booty. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Your music is booty.
I wouldn't go that far.
Is
she still with his wife? Is this what caused all of this? Did he break up with Drinker?
I hope not. I really wouldn't hope not. I don't know. I hope
not. I would hope not too. She seemed like she kept him kind of stable.
I think from what I've seen as far as of lately, a lot of MCs that I think are great actually have been doing better since they've gotten married.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, is he still with Drinker? Because that might be why he's been acting what we think is weird lately. But is he acting weird? Is he just acting weird to us because it's us and we're friends and we just seeing this? Or is this just Kevin on his path?
That's weird. That's nasty. That's weird. That's nasty. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't care for that. But back to the whole point after I slandered fucking Kevin Gates for like a whole 15 minutes. Does Eminem, Dr. Dre, the SNOOPDOGG, K-Dot, and Mary J, does that make you, sir, want to watch the motherfucking Super Bowl? Because I know you are. Just for the performance, I know you are.
If you're asking, does it metaphorically make me wet? Yes.
Didn't. I would never ask that. I would never ask that. As long as we've been friends, so like, I would never ask that question. Like,
I said metaphorically.
I'm not asking another grown man if anything makes him wet. I'm sorry. Like nigga, if you were standing in the fucking rain,
you shouldn't. That's not a good question.
If you were standing in the rain, I'm not even going to ask you that question that way. Like,
no. Bro, you wet, bro. You need some shade, bro.
No,
some covering.
No.
Anyway, all right.
None of those things. None of
need
those
some
things.
Cover, bro. All right, that's just weird. See, you can't make getting rained on gay. That's just not fair.
All I'm saying is, sometimes, a lot of times, to acknowledge a person that is a male that is getting wet because of the rain, the sentences you might say to acknowledge that thing happening might have to follow a pause. I'm just saying, a pause might have to follow that.
Can I draw you
may
off,
have
bro?
no intention of saying nothing, but it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to say pause after this. Matter of fact, I don't even want to look at this nigga. I don't even want to look at this nigga to acknowledge the fact of what's happening to him. Just because I have to say
wow. You look like you dripping, bro. All right, anyway. I mean, that could be a compliment, though. You saying the nigga's dripping, that could be a compliment. But if he's wet, that's not
you
really.
You want to hold on to my umbrella, B? No, pause.
That could be an invitation to your butt.
Pause.
That could be an invitation.
Exactly, pause. There's not a lot of ways to not acknowledge that. To not acknowledge that and not have to say.
What you mean, nigga? I can't take no rain by myself,
So, I know you ain't listened to the album. I know you ain't listened to Isaiah Rashad album and shit.
I know you dropped another one. Okay, shout out. I know you dropped another one.
About a month and a half ago. It's really, 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 really good. Really much impressed by it. But there's a skit on that bitch, and this nigga said, I'm thugged out, nigga. But I just seen a rainbow, nigga. I ain't that motherfucking thugged out. He's like, that shit beautiful than a motherfucker, nigga. That shit, my baby mama probably at the end of that bitch with a gold dick in their ass, nigga.
Hey, word to Cat Williams, you can't gangbang on bacon, nigga.
Look, nigga.
You gotta find look, as gangster, you can be the most gangster since gangsters been gangster, but guess what? You gotta love something, nigga. Even if it's a rainbow, you gotta love something.
But the follow up to it was the killer.
Unless you're just a complete psychopath. You gotta love something.
I mean, like, but I was confused because I'm just like, why would your baby mama be at the end of that bitch with a gold dick in her ass, nigga, when you right there? That was
pimping that bitch. That's why. Was you pimping that bitch? Nigga,
at the end of the rainbow, nigga?
Yeah, the gold dick is the money. It's just in her ass because she had to go get it for you.
That's fucked up.
Fuck you talking about? But it's real. Word to LA or wherever Isaiah from.
You know what? I did feel away when he said that shit because I was like, you know, I do feel away about rainbows though. Like them shits is beautiful than a motherfucker, man. Like,
I'm mad the gays adopted it.
Look, man,
I love rainbows forever. Look, I'm mad they adopted it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I can't wear rainbow shirts now because niggas want to think like the shit is gay. It's wild. Tie dye is the shit. Rainbow tie dye is the shit. But if you wear it today, you look like you with a certain group. And if you're not with that group, you know, it's like, oh well, why would
I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm not letting the gays take the rainbow from me because the rainbow is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We share the earth, nigga. We can share all of its beauty equally, nigga. In the word of Buddha, nigga.
You ever want to chase a rainbow?
Yeah.
no. Word to Buddha. Like, you ever want to chase a rainbow, nigga?
Like the Lucky Charms leprechaun?
Yeah. Like you ever see a rainbow and just want to like go to the end of it? Not looking for a pot of gold or no shit. Just also just you know it's an optical illusion. It's not really there. Because our rainbows don't really exist. It's just an optical thing because of the way the air is working at the time.
Yeah, air and the sun hitting at the same time.
Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking beautiful.
I'm gonna keep it 100 bun, bro. Like I was really hurt when I found out that scientific information. Like that shit kind of fucked my day up because I was really thinking like
oh, that shit was real.
I ain't gonna say it fucked my day. It fucked my life up a little bit because I was like,
took a bit of your innocence away.
Damn, son. So there's like really no start to beginning of the rainbow, nigga. So it's like
that bitch not really there. For real.
That's what I'm saying.
Not even really there.
Because it was like by the time I realized this or it came out in school, I was about like 9, 10 or some shit. So it's like you passed the point to where you believe that there's a pot of gold in the end of the motherfucker. But you do believe that there's like still at the
you think it's there. Yeah. You think there are strips of colors in the sky that have a beginning and end. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's not. It doesn't. It's not there. You'll never catch it.
Prince Billo said, "Nah, that's not how it goes." And then I was like, "Nah, bitch, you wrong." And then she proved it to us scientifically, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah, hurts."
Yeah,
something so beautiful you can't even grab
it. Like that's like really finding out, like for the first time. Like, especially if you grew up, like, you didn't know no other Batman other than Christian Bale, finding out that George Clooney at one time was Batman, you just like, damn. Like, yeah, that happened.
I feel like if you grew up in that time and Christian Bale was your first and only Batman so far outside of Ben Affleck, I feel like you would not even know who George Clooney was, much less know he was Batman.
Oh, no,
you would probably only know of him because he played Batman and you like Batman.
Back when y'all first played, that's fucked up. Like, nah, you know who he was. The George Clooney is George Clooney. He been doing this thing for like.
What was the last thing George Clooney was in the last 10 years that was relevant? Nothing.
Gravity.
Something that wasn't. Okay, I'll give you that. But that's one movie in the last 10 years. I was going to say outside of anything Ocean's related. But, yeah. Okay, I'll give you Gravity. But that's one movie. You go the decade before, he got at least 2, 3.
But that was 90s, though. Like, he was the fucking man.
No. Gravity came out last decade.
No, I'm saying like when he was Batman, that was the late 90s. That was like 98, 99. Yeah, no, or
Yeah. It was 98.
maybe
It
98
was
or
98.
90. Yeah, I think it was 98. But and then like when Christian Bale was Batman, that was 2006.
5 was the first one. Batman Begins dropped in 05.
No, I was in seventh. We was in seventh grade. I think I was 06. No, yeah,
It
you're
was
right.
05.
Probably 05.
I promise you, it was 05.
Yeah, it was 05. So yeah, so it wasn't even a whole 10 years later. And then you get, you know what I'm saying, Christian Bale Batman and shit. George Clooney was still in the game. Like he wasn't being Batman no more, but he was still doing
This Batman was the trashiest Batman.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, he was still doing major movies, so you know who the nigga is, but you probably
not if he was born in like 2000 or 99 and Christian Bale is your first Batman.
Yeah, you know, but you'll know who George Clooney is. You probably wouldn't have known that he was Batman. So when you
I feel like the only reason you would know him is because he's Batman. If you 12 years old, if you know the name George Clooney, if you 15 years old, the only reason you would know the name George Clooney is because you're a Batman fan and you know the niggas that have played Batman in the past. Only reason you know Michael Keaton's name is probably Beetlejuice and Batman.
Not necessarily. The reason why I even knew,
and that's a stretch to say you've seen Beetlejuice. That's a stretch right there.
I would say for me, the reason why I even knew who George Clooney was when I was a kid prior to Batman was because my mom had loved ER. And he was on fucking ER. And then like that was one of the attractions to me going to go see Batman and Robin, other than him being in it. I mean, being a Batman movie was like, oh shit, that's Doug from ER.
My mom used to watch ER too, but I feel like I didn't notice him on ER. I didn't notice George Clooney on ER until I saw him as Batman. I was like, oh shit, Batman. Why is he a doctor? My mom was like, he plays in it different because I was like 7, 6, something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? Thought he's Batman. Thought niggas get a role, and, you know, you're 7. You think niggas are
every
who
Thursday
they play.
At 9. Every Thursday at 9.
Why is Batman a doctor?
Yep, that nigga was doing some doctor shit, nigga. What's fucked up is like,
but my first Batman was Michael Keaton though. George Clooney wasn't even my first Batman. Though I fell in love with Batman through the cartoon and Michael Keaton. The cartoon is what sucked me in. And then I got turned on to the first 80s movie, and that it was over after that first one. After I seen that first one with him and Jack Nicholson, it was over. I've been a fan ever since.
I didn't really have an opinion on which one was better or not better until I got.
It wasn't about that as a kid, at least.
No, for me, I think my first Batman pause. It sounds weird. Was Val Kilmer. Yeah, was Val Kilmer because I was attracted to the Batman TV show, the cartoon and shit. So I was used.
You know what? Yeah, it might have been Val Kilmer then.
Yeah, I was used to seeing Batman and Robin together. So for me, seeing them two together in the last two, like the Val Kilmer and the George Clooney movies, I liked those when I was a kid because I was watching the animated series and shit, and you saw Batman and Robin together.
Val Kilmer only had one movie.
Yeah, he only had one, and George Clooney had one.
Robin technically had 2.
Yeah, he had 2. He was in Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Yo, okay, wait, that's the better question. And since we own Batman, goddammit, this is gonna be, I guess, superhero segment or whatever. Goddamn, yo, have you watched Batman Forever as an adult?
Yes, I have.
You got through it? Like the whole movie?
Yeah, as an analysis thing. See how it ages. And it does not age.
Shit put me to sleep. And before it put me to sleep, I was like, wow. I really used to like this movie when I was a kid. This is terrible.
Like, for example, now that we on it,
it's a shit movie. It's a shit movie.
How Harvey becomes
great for children.
How Harvey becomes Two-Face, nigga. Like the motherfucking Batman just so happens to be in the jury and nobody sees this nigga inside of a closed jury in court in broad daylight. And
a lot of the movie doesn't make sense.
And tries to save Harvey Dent, and he gets
with a stack of papers. With a stack of papers.
Acid thrown in his face he tries to guard it with a stack of files, and it burns half his face off. Like, what the fuck? Like, what?
Just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing that really grinded my gears.
The intro.
I'm glad you asked the question. I'm glad you asked that exact question. This was I became a comic book nerd, not Kevin Smith, more Ben Affleck. Right after,
I'm definitely the Kevin Smith in this relationship.
You shape like him.
Fuck.
I'm definitely Jay and you Silent Bob. Duh, nigga.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Duh. But anyway, I started getting into real heavy into the comic book game seriously about 2000. So I started doing my homework, reading up, got real nerdy with the shit. Christian Bale Batman happens. And I loved it because I was so into the lore and I was used to reading these comic books and how dark it was and how, yeah, nigga, you Batman. Why wouldn't you be hiding in the motherfucking shadows and sneaking up and taking niggas and being like, I'm Batman and dropping niggas? That's what you do. Duh, nigga. It should be like that. And you get that with Christian Bale. You get a real sense of Batman. A ninja that is a costume character. You crime vigilante, but you using this caricature, and
Christian Bale himself is the thing that kills him in that role. Christian Bale is the best Batman we've had, but so memeable to the point outside of Michael Keaton. So memeable to the point that whole outside of the Joker, that whole series, you just have a caricature of the actual character. Everybody makes fun of Bane.
I've ever heard.
No. Think about it. Everybody makes fun of Bane. Everybody makes fun of Batman's voice. Everybody makes fun of Ra's al Ghul, who gives a fuck about him from Batman Begins. Everybody makes fun of the 2 seconds the Scarecrow had, and everybody loves the Joker. The Joker was the best thing to come out of them 3 movies.
But here's the thing. I don't give a fuck about what you make fun of. Are you going to trade?
I'm just saying the overall consensus.
I don't give a fuck about their overall consensus because their overall consensus doesn't make any sense because due to the fact of this, are you willing to trade in what you got from Christian Bale's 3 Batman movies for the atrociously fucking bad Batman Superman movie, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin? I don't fucking think so. If you a
Batman
fan,
and Robin was better than Batman vs Superman.
It don't matter. It's too much color. It's too much out. It's way too many colors. It's too many fucking lights. These niggas are nigga. Batman and Robin showed up to a motherfucking charity event where they was auctioning themselves off for dates, nigga.
It was the 90s and it was directed by a gay dude. What did you expect?
I don't give a fuck about Joe Schumacher's sexuality and sexual.
Rest in peace to Joe. But I'm saying that played a part. That played a part. That's why the back suit had nipples and shit. The nigga was a little the reason why I want to touch on you a little bit.
The reason why Joe can eat 1,000
consensually.
The reason why I'm going to say Joe Schumacher should eat 1,000 dicks in hell has nothing to do with his sexuality. It has all the reason to do with the 2 shitty ass fucking Batman movies. Is you should have never fucking did that shit that way. These niggas are real, fam, for real.
Which one is better?
Poison Ivy to show up to the motherfucking party and shit, walking on niggas and shit, and then they walk up on stage, then seduce the motherfuckers. Everybody see shit.
this is where I say wait though, because just like today, which we gonna get into, like when you go see superhero movies today, just like today, it isn't bad. That's the one thing I'll say Joe got right with those two movies.
He didn't get shit right.
Fucking no, he did. It's a fucking comic book. The movie is literally, if it wasn't live action, you could easily read it colored on a page. Easily.
I've easily read at least 100, like at least 100. I know nerds have read more than me. At least 100 Batman comic books. Shit don't look that nasty, Nick.
No. You saying I'm saying it in the vein of Batman comic book. That's not what I'm saying about. I'm saying in the sense of
saying, Nick.
No, I'm saying that well, it had a lot of sins in it. Shout out to Cinema Sins, but it's
made me shit blood, nigga.
It's not
about that shit.
It's a comic book movie in the sense that the movie is a comic book. It's not a movie. It's not a superhero movie. It's a comic book movie.
I see without seeing. To me, darkness is just as clear as daylight. What am I? Fuck you. That's what
why you. The fact you even remember that line, I didn't even know what you were saying to the second part, and I was like, "Oh, really?" That was really corny. But yeah, I mean,
movies I can quote word for fucking word.
Batman talking like this, right? You, bro. Especially when I don't really talk like this. It's kind of fucking corny too. Just to be scary.
The fuck you gonna do? Talk like a regular ass nigga?
I thought I
thought the Robo voice was fucking corny as shit.
I didn't think it was a
Superman. Like it was just like, come on.
That was worse. That was for sure worse. That was for sure worse. That was for sure worse.
But cause and effect to that. Because all y'all niggas was bitching about I am Batman, and this nigga trying to do it naturally and just like and shit. Now y'all
no. Shut that down. No. You know why? No, because that's where I give Ben Affleck his props. Ben Affleck stands taller, is bigger, and probably has a lot deeper voice naturally than fucking Christian Bale. Christian Bale is our fucking height.
And he's English.
Ben Affleck is like 6'3", 6'4".
Christian Bale is like 6'1".
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm about to look
Get the fuck out of here.
I think he's like 6'1".
Christian Bale is 5'6". That nigga's 2 inches taller than Tom Cruise.
No, yeah, he's 6 foot.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep, 6 foot.
Why does he seem like he has a short man complex?
Why do you put that on somebody? Like he has a short man's complex.
He seemed like he got a Napoleon complex. He does. Have you ever heard him? Have you ever heard the type of shit he spazzes out about?
He's English.
That's no excuse.
He's like a modern day step away from being fucking
Listen, you was Batman don't mean you can talk to me like that. No, I slap the fuck out your ass. You ain't a ninja for real. You an actor. Relax.
Now you are right. Ben Affleck is taller. Ben Affleck is 6'4".
I'm just saying that my whole point to that was Ben Affleck could naturally deliver the voice. Probably he could deliver the voice better naturally than
this is what I
come on.
What I would say. This is what I would say. I wasn't anti-Batman and Ben Affleck being Batman when I found out how they was gonna age play him.
I'm still anti-Ben Affleck Batman. I always have been.
No, when they was trying to play him off as old man Batman, I'm like, oh, okay, because old man Batman was bigger. Like he was like, because he wasn't as fast. He got broly as shit, and he was just fucking niggas up. He didn't care no more. So I'm like, all right, that fit him. You know what I'm saying? This jaded ass, old gray headed motherfucker that's still getting in the bat suit and is still.
You can tell he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, it fit his aura, but it was just kind of like.
Even when he would just be talking, even when Ben, I'll give Ben Affleck that respect.
This is my thing, and this is look. Ben Affleck is in one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm going to give Ben Affleck some bail. The reason why I believe Ben Affleck was overall, from what we got outside of the Justice League Snyder cut, a shitty Batman, was because of studio writing and handling. Because when you see the Snyder cut, which you have, that 4-hour monstrosity of a movie, which is pretty good, but it's goddamn, it's 4 fucking hours.
4 hours. But,
it's as long as
could have been 3, but whatever.
But
we talked about
4
that.
hours. 4 hours. Visual effects are better. The cuts are better. Script and writing is all better. It's a better movie. You get a more of an appreciation of him being Batman that's understandable to the whole thing. But when you take the Snyder cut away and you just compare it with the original Justice League that we got in theaters and shit that we've been living with, and Batman versus Superman as written pieces of work, not as who playing the characters, because I believe in fucking Henry
That's the
Cavill.
problem with DC as a whole, is the writing.
But it's one of those things, like any project. I don't give a fuck what type of movie you're doing. If you don't have a solid fucking story that you're going to abide by, stick to, and roll with, that's going to be entertaining and true to story, whether it's an adapted screenplay or adapted story, or it's, a completely an original piece, if you don't stick to the guns of that and you just keep trying to change shit, micromanage it, or push it in certain directions because, I'm the producer, and don't let the artist do what the fuck they supposed to do, you get these type of projects. And I can't put that on the actors playing those parts because, and this, like I said, I believe in Henry Cavill being Superman. I don't believe there's any other Superman other than Christopher Reeves than Henry Cavill. There's only 2 Supermans in my head.
You can find another one.
They can. They probably will. But as it stands today,
it'll be Taylor Lautner.
Henry Cavill to me is equivalent to Christian Bale being Batman. Like, you are the modern day takes for this role. I don't think you can get really that much any better. But you still took this one movie, which was Man of Steel, which was a really fucking good movie and a really good character, great casting, and brought it down to a shitty level.
Therein lies
writing and plot twisting.
Why?
That's writing, yo.
Because therein lies another problem with the DC universe. Who directed Man of Steel?
Snyder.
Who directed the first one?
Which one?
The first Superman.
That was Man of Steel. That was Snyder.
What was the second Man of Steel? Or second Superman?
Whedon, I think.
He directed that one?
No, there wasn't a second Man of Steel. You're talking about Batman versus Superman.
No, Superman Begins. Wasn't it? That was a movie, wasn't it?
That wasn't a part of what they were doing.
The universe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say Superman Returns. Superman Returns was
Returns, that's what it was.
Yeah, they were trying to. That was supposed to be the Superman when they were trying to, or going to attempt to implicate Superman and Batman into the same universe because they had Christian Bale.
Right, this is what they should have went with.
But nah, because Superman Returns is a fucking terrible movie, yo. You seen that shit as an adult? That shit's ass.
I never watched. I'm not a Superman fan. I'm a well-documented, non-real Superman fan. I like Superman, but I'm not
it's dumb, crazy, colossal.
I know you told me I need to watch Man of Steel, but
Man of Steel is fucking really good, and the reason I even like the direction. Like, Snyder kicked ass on that shit. Like, if you think about it, a bunch like Superman fighting a bunch of super powered motherfuckers, shit gonna happen real fucking fast, and it's gonna be really big booms. And everything happens really, really fast, and there's a lot of big booms, nigga. That's like an official fight when he fighting the motherfuckers. Like, it's legit.
I mean, that's what real. That's what niggas like Snyder doing.
Russell Crowe for still being one of the realest niggas ever of all time. Every time I say Russell Crowe in this podcast, I'm always gonna mention the time That motherfucker, he kicked that
Kicked
nasty bitch out, Azalea Banks out of his party and shit, and being a real nigga.
Let's not call her a nasty bitch.
Because you a real nigga. You a real nigga when you gotta walk up to RZA and be like, yo, I know the bitch you came with, that's your people's, but you gotta get the fuck up out of here. You brought that bitch, you know what I mean? You a real nigga. You gotta have a real conversation.
I can say this. My love for Azalea has grown over the years. So outside of her antics and being one of those cousins that you can't take nowhere, she pretty cool.
Nah, nigga, she not.
She pretty cool.
She not.
She pretty, like she kind of cool. She kind of cool. You like fucking white dudes and shit, you know. I mean,
you gonna stop saying things on this podcast that's gonna stop, gonna keep making me lose respect for you. You gonna stop doing that. You gonna stop doing that, nigga. You one of these days you gonna make me proud. Like, I'm a force.
I don't know how you lose respect for a nigga saying Azalea Banks is a decent human being.
She's not a decent human being.
She can be when she wants to be.
No,
see, I gotta stop doing that. My therapist tells me I
think she's a terrible person. Like for real, nigga.
Don't necessarily deserve it, but yeah. I don't think she doesn't deserve it. I think she's kind of cool.
Genuinely fucked up person, yo. Like
I don't know that. I don't know that. If you can
Crowe threw you out of a party, yo.
Who said Russell Crowe was that great of a fucking person? Didn't he support Trump or something? I don't know.
He's not John Boyd, nigga.
Facts ain't truth. What?
Just because you say it don't mean that it's facts, nigga, or truth.
Facts ain't truth. Exactly.
I need to keep smoking this weed. I'm gonna get into some shit. Anyway. Hit niggas with facts, nigga.
Speaking of movies, guess what the fuck I saw today? Oh, what?
I want to talk about your mans.
Oh, what mans?
Your man's Alex.
Oh.
The Jones one.
Yeah, I knew when you said Alex.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with him that much. He says he's my man because he says he's my man. He's not,
it is your man's. I know it's some shit when because my Twitter trend is pro black, pro Latino, pro basketball, and pro for some reason everything TDE and Freddie Gibbs, but it's all of those things.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like the last two, like
I get a lot of Freddie Gibbs on my shit too.
I get a lot of Gibbs.
I follow niggas from TDE, so I know that's why that's on there. And I
don't interact with that many.
Gibbs is like a section in my shit.
Nigga, I interact with more trust niggas than I do with fucking TDE. But anyway, that's what it usually consists of. But Alex Jones was trending on my shit, and then I ignored it, and I waited.
So I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm a little retarded.
And I went back to it 8 hours later because sometimes I'm just like, you know what I'm saying, when I'm taking my shit first thing on Friday morning, trying to listen to new music and shit, and I'm like looking for things to talk about for the podcast. You know what I mean? I'm giving my daily synopsis of what happens. Usually, shit just go away. Shit just like, all right, this is the early morning shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just whatever Twitter trying
that nigga was still trending.
8 hours passed, and these niggas still trending, like exactly what you said. And I'm like, why?
The fuck
so I look at it. Now, Alex Jones, the piece of walking shit that he is, I'm sure you are aware of how he didn't believe in the Sandy Hook victims and the parents of those Sandy Hook victims.
That's the simple way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know.
I'm being simple. All right.
Yeah.
I'm being simple.
We all know.
So,
unfortunately.
So Jaime. Well, yeah, Jaime.
Nah, not mine.
Yeah. Well, some white person's Jaime.
He's just a nigga I listen to that I find entertaining.
We're gonna call it a straight.
I like listening to crazy white conspiracies. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna call it straight, homie. You're so you Strummy lost
I'll take
two suits against families that he implicated in being actors.
I know exactly what families you're talking about, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and good for them.
Yeah, being actors or fake victims, and if you're unaware of Sandy Hook, look it up. It's a very terrible thing. And
actually, the kid that did it has his interrogation video is on YouTube. You should look that up. It's quite interesting. For those of you that are into the true crime,
whatever channel that is, send
JCS
bag.
Jim can't swim. JCS in the bag. Shout out to my baby Bows. You know what I'm saying?
Fat one.
True crime shit.
So I can get like really big bags of weed. But anyway,
yeah.
But yeah, he lost those and shit.
How much?
Undisclosed at this point from what I've seen.
That's some M's.
Yeah.
That's for sure some M's. Which deserved. He was talking too crazy. He was talking. He went on Joe Rogan a couple months later. I was like, I was drinking a lot. You know I'm retarded, right? Like,
saw that.
Nigga's crazy, dog.
Because you know me, this is nothing. Matter of fact, I think this is against Joe Rogan. You know what? I think we're gonna come to him.
Joe Rogan been posting a lot of crazy shit on his Instagram too.
I don't think I fuck with Joe Rogan at all. I relate on. I think as I've grown older, I'm less and less fucking with certain people.
I haven't heard the podcast in a while.
At all.
I haven't heard the podcast in a while. I as a nigga that used to listen to the podcast every week since he switched to Spotify, because I'm not a Spotify subscriber, I haven't listened to the podcast in a while. But the shit I've seen in clips and the shit I've seen on Instagram is like, what is this nigga doing? So I don't know. I can't say I don't fuck with him no more, but I gotta listen to a couple episodes of the show because I'm like, what is going on? What is he going through? Like, is he trying to appease certain people or is shit? Like, I take him as not that type of person to do that because he's a comedian at the end of the day.
I've never,
but he does have a huge
in
podcast.
The mentality that like Joe Rogan was never one of those people that white or black or for whatever reason, celebrity or not. I never thought I could put him in a box of trust. But
really, why not?
Yeah,
Joe Rogan seems very trustworthy. Even if you don't agree with him, he seems like a very trustworthy person.
I'm Mexican is a vibe. It's just like you just don't.
Yeah.
It's something that the Mexicans,
like that's being kind of,
you know what I'm saying, and Latinos.
Weird.
I would say Latinos and Italians kind of share like with each other. It's just kind of like
you can't black people trust every fucking body. What are you talking about?
No, it's a certain type of vibe. It's like when you just don't let nobody in. It's like you just know.
Joe Rogan is your regular meathead ass white boy. Joe Rogan is your regular meathead ass white boy.
I don't trust those people.
Generally, you would, but if you give him that's the difference with Joe. If you give him the time of day, right? Of course, in real life, you don't give those guys the time of day because you go, I know what you are. Joe has the platform and the people to come on the show. Let me finish. Joe has the platform and the people to come on the show that will make you listen to his point of view. You might not give a fuck what Joe talking about. If he got Dave Chappelle on there, you gonna listen just because Dave on there and they gonna talk. So you gonna have to hear Joe's points of view regardless. You may agree with some of this shit. That's how I got sucked into Joe's podcast. I liked him as a comedian. No. When I introduced him, it was Fear Factor. And, it's comedian shit.
Yeah.
The podcast shit is the guest sucked me in.
But that's where me and you differ. That's where me and you differ. I can understand the value of what we surf for and what a lot of motherfuckers in our game and other games surf for, which is the stream. And I understand what my stream is worth, what our listener streams is worth to us, and around the corner and back. And to me, a stream is like whether you support somebody's information or thought process or not, you giving it to them, and an accumulation of those clicks, those views surface to monetary dollars.
Joe got about 100 million of them to show for it.
Yeah. I am very conscious in my support of who I support and why and what and what I indulge in from these content creators, whether musicians, actors, artists, comedians, whoever.
Right.
I've seen enough of Joe Rogan through time as a young bull to an adult today to have a significant analysis of the person that I'm looking at.
I think I can say the same thing.
Yeah, and I agree. Some shit may have gotten over my head when I was a young bull because you're young. You don't understand certain shit. Certain shit hit you differently.
Joe Rogan's pretty base level with his jokes and his conversation. He's not really outside of having like conversations with super smart people. He's not giving you nothing.
But if you ain't got traditional common sense of racially certain things or socially look at certain things or emotionally be triggered to certain things.
If you listen to Joe Rogan, and you black, you take him one way. If you listen to Joe Rogan and you Hispanic, you take him another way. If you listen to Joe Rogan and you white, you take him another way. I've met white Joe Rogan fans. We are not the same. I am a Joe Rogan fan. They are a Joe Rogan fan. I've been in Brazilian jiu-jitsu classes with them. We're not the same person.
Absolutely. My whole shit is like I've never had this is a trustworthy guy type shit coming in from him. And with that going in, it's like, yeah, I've watched certain interviews because they've been prevalent and relevant to what we've been doing or what we have to do. Honest to God, I would never in my lifetime, and I've explained this to you, I don't believe in wasting my time, my energy, my mind, or my voice and speech and breath on shit that I don't want to do. Say, think about, or indulge in. Unless it's about something that is prevalent to what the fuck I have to, I'm trying to do. I wouldn't want to motherfucking watch Kanye and Joe Rogan speak. That shit was the dumbest fucking 3 hours I lost out of my life. But it benefits me to come in here and talk about this shit, hear about that shit.
Just to make fun of it.
It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. But if it wasn't something that we
never even made it through that whole interview. I think we only got through half of it before we were like, okay, we get it.
No, but I didn't want to indulge in that shit at all because you know how much I hate Kanye.
Oh no, I know I forced you to watch it, but I think we only made it like halfway through.
But it was all in support of this podcast. If we had a fucking Pottery Barn podcast and shit, nigga, there's a lot of shit that I would not give a fuck to Google. Like straight up, just because it's like, all right, nigga.
Yo, if we could Bob Ross this shit, nigga, we would.
You know,
but we kind of do, but you know what I mean.
It's that's where I'm at with. You know what I mean? Like we can. I indulge in certain things to invest in this. I don't trust that nigga. I really don't like that nigga. I think he's a fucking racist. Like, to be honest to God with you, I think Joe Rogan is a fucking racist.
Why? You think Joe Rogan is a racist?
Yes.
Why? How? Give me an example. That's like concrete example, not something he said, just saying shit that he just says randomly. Give me something he said.
The fuck you mean? That's like not just something he just says randomly.
No, I'm saying not something he says randomly in the sense that, like, in a conversation with somebody on a podcast, there's not no episode I've ever heard where he's just giving his opinion on some shit and like, I don't fuck with that shit. What do you mean by he's racist?
You have a brand to protect. You know that shit.
Okay, but okay, so give me an example. What does he do that makes him that way? I'm not even defending him yet because I don't even know what the fuck you mean. What do you mean?
I think he significantly benefits from speaking to people who are Uncle Toms and benefit to his audience and he himself monetarily. And certain people,
that's selfish. That's not racist. Which selfish? Not really.
You're selfish.
He's a celebrity.
No,
it's not selfish.
Still, no.
You're not.
Selfish. You're selfishly pimping racism to your own monetary benefit.
What racism? What's racist about what he's doing? What has he done that he's pimped out is racist? I've never heard this man say nothing racist in my life. You think Dave Chappelle would hang out with this nigga and go on tour with this nigga if he was racist? What are you talking about?
That nigga is a stark, graven fucking racist.
And you don't think Dave can sniff it out? Who known that nigga probably 20 years? You don't think Dave can sniff it out? You don't think if Dave can see it, you think he will fuck with that nigga?
I don't think he sees it the same way I do. I wouldn't compare me and Dave as having the same type of mental. We can agree. And we
I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the sense that you think from the type of person you think Dave is. Speaking of which, special coming out on Tuesday on Netflix.
We're not talking about what type of person that Dave is. We're talking about me or you.
No, I'm saying that.
I'm not comparing myself.
Okay. Well, let's say that then. I just said that because he's somebody we think, both of us think, is a reasonable human being who has a pretty rational way of going about things, to say the least. Do you think he's hanging out with outside of the probably 20-year
Dave is more
association they've had
within his personal circle than I am?
That's probably true.
Me and him are.
You're still not telling me anything Joe Rogan has done that makes him a racist.
I can't name something off of his. It's a vibe, yo. Who he gets
you
on?
You can't just go off a vibe. Niggas look like they. Niggas look like they predators. They're not always predators just because they look like it. You remember how I look when I shave my whole face? Come on. Like, I look like, but you know me. Like, you niggas know. Like, come on. Like, you can look away and not be that way. He does look like that. If you didn't know nothing about him, he does look like that. I get it. But me looking at the guy, how I've been looking at him.
Me and this nigga are not from the same cloth at all.
I wouldn't consider myself from the same cloth with Joe Rogan either.
We not sitting in the same room and we getting along. Sorry. Not at all.
See, that's where that's where you lose me. Because why not? Why not?
Not a Kanye interview.
Yeah, he doesn't treat every interview. He's interviewed people way worse than Kanye. That he's never had back on his show because he found out, like, oh, they're really nuts. Like, yeah, I can't have them back on because they be on some wild shit. Because they might actually be racist. Like he purposely doesn't have niggas back on his show that he might put on his show because he don't really know them like that. Just to have a conversation. Right. I mean, yeah. Anybody would do that, but at the same time, is it okay? So you think he's doing it for that, or you think he's just doing? Okay, even if you think he's just doing it for that, what's the reasoning behind thinking he's just doing it to protect his brand? What reasoning do you have that that's all he has? A comedian. That's all a comedian has to care about. A stand-up comic. Because without the podcast he crashed, he canceled, yada yada. Joe Rogan, he's still going to the stage. He's still going to the club.
I, as Jose Ortega, do not fuck with Joe Rogan.
You're not saying why though. Like you're not. You said you didn't have like a specific.
Why?
No, I'm saying you got a vibe. You could get a vibe from a nigga that he might shoot you. That don't mean you can't be in the same room with the nigga. You can't be cool with the nigga just because you feel like you're intimidated by him. That doesn't mean he's intimidated. It just means you're intimidated.
I don't fuck with this nigga. I think that he secretly is motherfucking recruiting Uncle fucking Tom. And a bunch of these motherfuckers sit in front of these niggas. Uncle Tom it the fuck up. I do not fuck with this nigga, bro. I don't.
Even from the wild shit, even from the shit that I've been questioning and I've seen the last couple weeks.
Dumb motherfuckers to do dumb shit on camera. Say dumb shit on camera.
That nigga was just high telling niggas what to do. What are you talking about?
Fuck, he's a front man and they doing it because Joe Rogan is. Why?
Joe Rogan was nobody in 2001 when he was hosting Fear Factor. What are you talking about? He was there. He wasn't even known as a comedian. He was known as the nigga that hosted Fear Factor. When I learned about him to be a comedian, I was like, the nigga that hosted. Everybody was like, the guy that hosts Fear Factor does
It don't
comedy?
fucking matter. Joe Rogan there, you trying to impress Joe Rogan. For what? Why? Who the fuck is he?
He was nobody. I don't think that's what people were. People were there at Fear Factor because they wanted to get the $50,000 that was on the line.
He nobody fucking now.
He's bigger than he was in 2000. He's nobody now. He's a touring comedian, one of the biggest ones, and one of if not the biggest podcast. He's way bigger than he was when he was doing that. You could say if he was, you could say he's way more influential now than he was then. Niggas wasn't doing shit in 2001 for Joe Rogan.
I'm in this shit being simple, just for the 175. Y'all mayonnaise supporters are motherfucking nuts. Like I don't understand.
I just don't
support for some of these motherfuckers, bro. I'm gonna keep that 100. I don't understand you fucking Britney Spears motherfuckers. I don't understand you Joe Rogan supporting motherfuckers. I don't understand you motherfuckers that listen to MGK. I don't understand none of you.
I give you that one. Nigga, you used to be a fan now. Hold on.
That's when
you was telling me to bang Black Flag now.
That's when
chill out.
Black Flag, that was Lace Up. That was the first one. That was not.
It was both. It was both. It was both.
Black Flag.
You are literally the reason I knew it came from.
I was not pimping. No, you was the reason why I knew MGK existed.
That might have been because he was on the song Walk Flock It Up. That's not
oh, nigga, don't fucking you put me up on the more white
and did he put him out? Fuck you.
Anybody else, nigga. The only white boy rapper you ain't put me up on with Jack Harlow and G-Eazy.
That's a lie.
Shit.
I ain't put you up on no goddamn Rush. I'm questionable, Rush. I'm questionable if I put you up. It's questionable if I put you up on MGK.
That's not questionable. That's facts.
R.I.P. Mac Miller. I don't know about that one. Vanden knows nothing of Mac Miller's work. He knows Macadelic, and that's it.
He was banging from heavy.
He knows Macadelic and the mixtape after and before that. That's what he knows. He knows nothing of his work. Rest in peace.
But still, y'all too.
M doesn't even. It isn't even their conversations. Like, what are you talking? Like, what? Shut up.
M don't count. Why do you always?
I know. That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I. What are you talking about? That's
stop
what I
talking
said.
About the guy. So stop talking about the guy.
I just said he doesn't count. You would know him anywhere. So what white rappers did I? What all white rappers did I? How many white rappers is it that are worth listening to?
Lil Dicky.
I've heard 2 songs of his. You told me about him, nigga.
You put me on Lil Dicky.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did.
If I did, it's this Vandit. Matter of fact, I might have because Vandit put me up on song.
I had no idea who the fuck Lil Dicky was. I wouldn't have fucking went through his fucking album if it wasn't from one of y'all niggas. So
Vandit put me up on him with that song with Snoop, and then this little white chick I was messing with at the time ended up playing the whole album for me because she was like, "Have you ever heard of Lil Dicky? Oh my god, I love it!" And I was like,
"Yeah, it was probably you then." Yep.
So
yep, Lil Dicky, Yellow Wolf.
I probably put you up on Yellow Wolf.
Mac Miller.
What happened to Yellow Wolf? He was supposed to be the next rap Garth Brooks.
he became Bubba Sparks doing country rap, nigga. Like that's really what.
Right, he was supposed to be rap Garth Brooks. He was doing country rap good.
No, that shit got ass though.
Right, it fell off.
You heard Trial by Fire? That shit was ass.
I didn't know he did another album. Last one I heard was Radioactive.
No, that was like 2 albums after.
Yeah, last album.
I
heard the first mixtape. Oh no, the 2 mixtapes before.
Good. That shit was
the 2 albums.
Trial by Fire was it was you know what? There needs
Hey, was that the one with Best Friend on it?
Whatever it was Booty Meat.
The shit with M, I think he had on there was My Best Friend.
I was it. No, that was before. Oh, I was like because the M wasn't on that album at all. I'm Trial by Fire.
So that's probably okay. Well, I heard parts of the 3rd one.
Anyway, that shit was ass. But anyway,
is he still signed to Shady?
No.
What is he signed to now?
I think he's independent. God damn it! I gotta look this shit up. I'm just nasty. Fucking on my searches and shit. Talk about your man's mom's spaghetti restaurant. God damn it.
I mean,
you gonna get some mom's spaghetti?
I might go try this little. See, look, this the problem. I can fuck with the Super Bowl show, right? Dre, Snoop, K-Dot, Mary J. It's beautiful. I can fuck with that. Spaghetti, never been that big a fan of. Spaghetti for my mom, yeah. Most of the Caucasian friends I've had that I've had spaghetti at their house, their mom's spaghetti was not that great. So I'm not saying that I think M's mom's spaghetti, I guess, is Debbie, I think her name is Debbie Spaghetti, isn't that seasoned maybe, but that's not my issue. My issue is her spaghetti is between $11 and $14 a pop. And then you want a drink, that's $3 a pop. And it's cute, it's cool. I like it. I might go get a sandwich, but this $11. You want spaghetti is $13. You want spaghetti with meatballs is $14. You want spaghetti with vegan balls. Shout out to them vegan balls. $15. Spaghetti sandwich, $11. And something else for $12.50 or something. And pop is $3 and water is $3. And I just don't like spaghetti that much. They're selling spaghetti out of Chinese food box, my nigga. I'm good.
Yeah. So
I love him, but I'm probably never gonna go there.
And
if I do, it'll be the sandwich. But I'd have to have 11 to blow.
I don't buy purchase spaghetti from restaurants. It's gross.
Right? Right.
Yeah, like that's
right.
Fucking gross.
That's like a home thing. You make that at home.
You make that at the crib. That's single. Like what the fuck is wrong? So your man's Yellow Wolf released.
Wouldn't say that.
Shut up. Shockingly, 5 albums in the year 2021.
Huh?
Yes, he's released 5 albums
this year.
This year. Mudmouth.
5 whole albums?
Yep. Mudmouth, Mile Zero, Slum Mafia, Turquoise Tornado, and Yellow Wolf Black Sheep. And since last thing you listened to was Radioactive, that was 2011. He dropped Trump Music
100 albums behind.
Yeah, he dropped Trump Music Returns, Love Story, Trial by Fire, which I told you was absolute garbage. Trump
Love Story was less when I heard.
Trump Music 3 and Ghetto Cowboy before the 5 album 2021 run.
Ghetto Cowboy.
It all came out in 20.
Isn't that kind of an oxymoron for him?
We're not going to talk about appropriation.
I'm think about it. Yellow Wolf, ghetto cowboy. That's an oxymoron. He's probably a moron, but I mean, like, what?
It's called cultural appropriation, Bistrick. That's what it's called. Okay, and I'm just gonna let you know right now. I looked at all of these, and I did not see a Shady credit. I saw a bunch of Interscope credits from the early days until now, but it looks like that's all independent. So,
excuse me.
Either they disowned this nigga like he was just like a two-headed fucking slave child, or he only had like a slight deal with Shady and never did an album for him. Because I believe he was dropped before that time.
That's not how it happened.
I think he just got dropped before he delivered.
Nope.
Because he never delivered.
That's not how it happened. That's not how that happened. You know how I know that's not how that happened? Tell you how. Remember something called the Shady Cypher at the 2009 BET Awards?
Yeah, but what was
very iconic. That was the first one. Came out very shortly after that. Radioactive. Year or two after that. 3 maybe. Tops. Both, for sure, were on Shady. How do I know? If you listen to the whole album from top to bottom, which I did, Eminem is on the skits of those. Fuck you. Eminem is on the skits of those albums talking about trying to help him put the album together. Or he's on the skits of the second one talking about helping him trying to get the album together. He's on the first one just rapping. And he did hella promotion for him.
We've been saying this shit for fucking 14 years. Shady is the worst place to ever get fucking signed and have and like.
Is it worse than Bad Boy now?
Absolutely.
Why? I'd still sign to Shady over Bad Boy.
Because
personally, I'd still do. Not even with even Eminem being my favorite. Like,
because if you really real. If you're really great, I feel like even with a shitty deal, you'll still be able to be a star past that shitty deal. I mean, like the shitty location, and you'd still be like one of the star powers at that shitty location when it's shitty. I think what is Shady really only has 50 outside M. Which we can't count because
50 doesn't count. Yeah, he doesn't count.
But I'm saying,
he's not an owner in Shady.
No, I'm not saying as an owner. I'm saying as far as artists that came from that's still outside of being signed to that label, would still be able to be successful musically.
Yeah.
50 is like one of only.
But he doesn't count in that sense. In terms of nigga, no, he doesn't. 50's he's solidified already. What are you talking about?
But he comes from
50 is not in like the stratosphere of where do you put him? 50's up there.
But you gotta but when you ask that question, you gotta talk about Diddy. Diddy really only had still was signed to Bad Boy at one point in time or another.
The only thing he had close to 50 was Big. He's dead.
The Locks, nigga. Yeah, the Locks.
Locks left in the 90s, early 2000s.
Don't matter. They would still be able. They were stars with him, and they were able to still be stars without him. That's the point I'm making.
So did MGK. MGK is on Interscope now too by himself.
But
after he proved himself on Bad Boy,
he's still post Bad Boy, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like the only motherfucker that's really still out here post Shady and shit is Fifth, and he don't even make music no more.
Well, if we talking about in general, no, Joe
Button.
Yeah, he was independently signed to Shady. Other than Def Jam, he's independent. It's very well documented. outside of Def Jam and Shady Records, did that shit himself. And I believe he's doing it himself right now.
In my opinion, Joe Budden's career, and we're talking
is an
about
anomaly. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about. If we're going to say comparison, there's like Shady versus a comparison to Bad Boy. I would compare him to Mace. Like you got something good. It's great. You signed them.
Nah. Joe Budden was nah. Can't let you do that to Joe. Nah. Mace ain't Mace without Diddy. Joe is Joe without Shady.
You know what?
With or without that Slaughterhouse album, with or without that solo album, he's still him.
I listen to so much less Joe Budden a day, even podcasts and musically, just because of the fact that I'm not in that vibe no more. So
yeah, me either. I used to listen to a lot of Joe Budden music.
So did I.
But I'm
not in that vibe no more. So, like, to me, either or, like I'm not a Mace fan, period. So it's like I'm not in that vibe ever. So it's like when we compare the two, it's like, all right, I'm in some person's vibe more than another, but they're pretty much comparable.
I've been in a Mace. I catch a Mace vibe.
I don't fuck with Mace.
I fuck with Mace. Harlem World was a good album.
I think he in apostate, but
I give you that too. But I give you that too. But as a rapper, it's okay.
He's not better than the niggas that
prior to that shit, especially.
He's okay. Not better than the niggas that came after him. I'm sorry. He's not better than Dipset.
Okay. Yeah, of course not. But they weren't on Bad Boy.
Nah, but it's like motherfuckers be dick sucking that nigga so tough. Like, oh, Harlem World. Like, nigga, he's not better than
No, that's Harlem niggas. They dick suck Harlem World like that. Because Harlem World was the only great Mace album.
That's
good Mace album.
That's probably just New York niggas, period.
Yeah. That's 80s, 90s, early 2000s New York niggas.
I'm even comparing it. I'm just like, nigga, Wasted Talent is better than fucking Harlem World to me.
Stop it. Bruh, stop it. Come on. Wasted Talent is one of the best things to come out of New York in a while. Nigga. It's one of the best albums of the year that it came out.
Like, the fuck
Jones been on a nigga.
The fuck is we talking about?
My love for Jim Jones. Dog. That's my favorite Harlem nigga walking this earth. Next to Cam and Dame.
Mine is Cam, but I'm more relatable to Jim Jones. But hey, you know.
No, it's Jim, Cam, and Dame for me. My top 3 favorite Harlem niggas. Yeah.
Cam, Dame, Jim.
I just always liked Jim. Even before I really knew, even when he was talking about, I just liked the nigga look when I was younger. Like when I was a kid, I saw the nigga like in one of them Dipset videos. I was like, that nigga looks cool. He was just wondering, like, I remember I bought a pant chain. Like, remember them link chains you hook up to like your wallet and be from like your back pocket to your belt. I bought one of them bitches because of that nigga, bro. In like middle school, elementary school. Like Jim Jones been the shit to me.
Fun fact is when we speaking about Jones, I was one of the first niggas in my high school gym class to pull off a Jim Jones push-up in gym class and shit with a bitch on my back. And I was
which is probably really an achievement at that time.
Hey, nigga, you got a whole bitch on your back.
Yeah, I guess everybody can do that.
You know what I mean? You had to think, like, maybe Jim Jones was like maybe like 165 at that point in time. A push-up is pushing your own weight. So it's like, if you pushing 165 yourself, and then you got like a thick bitch on your back, which is probably another 140, and you, yeah, I failed the first 4 times. I ain't gonna front. And then I got that bitch perfectly supported on my back, pushed out 2 of them hoes, no one else could pull it. I was like, all right, fuck it. I done my shit for the day. I ain't do a damn thing else in gym class. I'm like, no one can fuck with me because I'm the only nigga that pulled off a Jim Jones push-up. Like, I'm the only nigga that had the willpower to say like I want to support this bitch on my back and be like ballin'. I was the only nigga in the room do that. And I did it.
Bruh. I remember like I think before it was like before We Fly High came out. This is my Jim Jones appreciation. Nigga, before We Fly High came out, I think like I said, I just knew him from Dipset songs and videos. Never really knew who he was for real. Nigga, that shit came out. I was like, this guy's dope. This guy's really cool. I think I know I was in middle school for sure when We Fly High came out, and I was like,
yeah,
yep, I want to be like him. I listened to that whole album, the whole next album, the whole album after that, and then it was like he disappeared.
Jones is underrated,
Stop listening to
nigga.
him. I don't know.
He is underrated like a motherfucker. That nigga Jim, man, he can rap, nigga. That nigga make good music, nigga. Let's get the fuck up out of here because I gotta take a piss. Nigga.
Bet. All right. Peace to you, motherfuckers. We out. We'll catch you next week on this flying rock we on through space.
Once again, you know what I mean? Shout out to all y'all that listen to us around the world. You know what I mean? We fuck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? You fuck with us, we fuck with y'all. You know what I mean? Yeah. I personally know that y'all better than being Britney Spears fans and believing in this stupid ass shit that this nigga was saying. I personally believe in y'all. You know what I'm saying?
And I guarantee you, it's a few Britney Spears fans. It's like, bro.
And y'all nasty. And I'm gonna let y'all know, y'all nasty. It's okay though. It's okay. Y'all can love me. Y'all can hate me. You know what I mean?
Team Britney.
Y'all need to be, you know what y'all are? Y'all not Team Britney. Y'all Team 40,000. That's what y'all is. Y'all Team 40,000. And that's all baby girl gonna do. You know what I mean? But we gonna do much more than that.
Fuck you.
Damn it. Stop being that way. Because
being like, what way? Being real about the situation. The fact that Britney Spears would kill Kanye West. You just saw the numbers. 3,000.
It's about 3,000. Her like,
that happened off camera, damn it. But still,
her best streaming numbers was Kanye's worst numbers ever. What the fuck?
But no, it doesn't count though. No, it doesn't count though. Because her best numbers is Kanye's worst numbers, but her best numbers, you had to go pick up the album at the store.
You know what?
And it was $20 a pop.
I'm gonna look it up when we get off this bitch. I bet
$20 a pop.
Because his best album was College Dropout, so I bet them numbers look better than fucking her best album.
Her first album came out in 1998, 99. She may have sold less copies.
I said best, not first. Best selling.
Her best selling album is Oops. That's the one I couldn't think of in the red dress. Oops, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. That shit. I'm breaking your heart. That shit.
Episode 175. House of Spades Media. I am your host.
I'm lost in the game. Ooh, baby. Oh.
AKA Tito Lee. AKA my co-host is Dumb. And we out this bitch.
Lost in the game. Ooh, baby.